here is happy. Okay, just so you know, it's we got a lot of stuff to get to. Dave Hyde's with us this morning, all day Dan Day. Jamie's been on a streak. I'm just so impressed. My man showing up, still working on his social life, but still making sure he's got a little old school in him. He wanted to make sure he's here. Kim Bocamper will join us a little bit later on as well, and we got all kinds of stuff. I learned something last night, and I said I have to start with this because for you diehard, hardcore, know soccer inside and out, know who all the players are, understand what everybody's trying to do coaching-wise and all those things. I'm not one of those guys, but I do know one basic thing, and so does Dave Ike, because the first thing you hit me with, England went to the prevent defense, and I'm watching the last 15 minutes or so, or 20 minutes, England up 1-0. They made some changes in the lineup. They went defensive and said, we're going to win this game 1-0. And that's when Messi, they tried to stack around the goal, and Messi made two of the greatest passes in games. I mean, listen, I don't know how many guys make those, but they ended up losing 2-1, and they had a lot of shots. It wasn't just those two shots.
You knew
it could have been 5-1
coming, didn't you? Just how many? And that game had something for everybody. If you know soccer, there were some. And I read about it afterwards, and that's what happened. Like Messi was playing inside all game, and then after England scored, he moved outside and said, "Okay, they're not going to let me score, so I'm going to beat them by passing."
Yeah,
and setting up.
We only talk about his goals he scores, his passing. I mean, nobody's going to be talking about those goals that were scored. I mean, those are absolutely passes. And again, his guy does make his first goal is a great goal, with a nice break to it to get away from the goalie and put it in a corner. But the second one, I think I've got him in the right. No, I have him wrong. The first one, the header was just beautiful. The header getting in. I mean, the pass he makes. He's just he's unbelievable. What's he done? Let's just talk about Messi for a second. Besides the strategy, what Messi has done. Now, he didn't have any goals yesterday, but if you watch the game,
He was the most impactful player if you watch the game.
Again.
Right? At the end of the game. Now, for the first half, when they put the stats up, he had the ball taken from like 15 times because
he did.
Because England said he's not going to beat us.
Right.
He's not going to beat it. Just like Argentina said Drew Bellingham isn't going to beat us. And they were, Messi got beat up pretty good. And it was almost like a hockey game with the players coming to his defense.
They went after Bellingham, too. Every time he was run down the side, he was getting knocked down, and you could see his frustration. The other thing I don't know how much flopping is in that thing and how many of those that you're trying to draw fouls. Because there were guys we're watching, and guys are falling down that's part of soccer.
I hate that. I hate that. You get hit, touched in the knee, and you're screaming and go down. But regardless, it was a great game because the best player was at his best. And there was afterwards, if you're an English fan, you're like, what did we do? What? But this is what they'd done the previous two wins. Now, of course, now you come up against better competition in the semifinal, the world champion, defending world champions.
Come up against Messi, setting guys up.
They figured it out.
Yeah. But it did. How many times have we seen this in every sport? Hockey, you get a 2-0 lead, third period, and you get a little more defensive, and you're just trying to clear the puck, and they're coming back down, and they're going after you, and now you've changed the way you play because you're just totally just get the puck down to the other end. And how many times you see it in football?
In the 80s, in the prevent defense, we don't hear that anymore because it's sort of
prevent you from winning is what we used to say every time they'd use it.
Yeah.
But you have a nice lead, and now for some reason, I don't know what brilliant person came up with this when you're up 17-3 or something in the fourth quarter says, all right, hey, now let's loosen up. We've been playing great tight coverage, but let's loosen up to make sure they don't get that deep pass. Now you know it happens. Right, so now you do that, you change it. So everything on the field opens up. Now all the square ends, the curls are wide open. Guys are catching the ball, running. And then, as we see in sports, you get Big Mo going, especially at the highest level of sports, and you can't turn it off. Now you get the ball back, you're 3 and out. They get the ball back. I mean, hey, listen, Dolphins have had those games too. I was thinking a game a couple years ago They're playing the Titans.
Oh, that was awful.
Game's over.
That was awful.
All you need is a first down. Tua can't get a first down. Not the first thing to Tua, but defensively they were terrible. Dump passes were going for 30 yards and running out of bounds. Guys would start and cut back outside, and everything went wrong to lose that game the way they did. And then the greatest example of maybe in the biggest game is what New England did in their comeback against the Atlanta Falcons. That should never happen. And they went from Atlanta couldn't get a first down. The defense was all over them. But by the end of the game, everything they did was open, working, and Brady got on a roll.
Speaking of which, Brady tweeted after Argentina beat Egypt. Remember, they came back.
That's right.
Brady tweeted like better than 28-3 or something like that. This is a bigger comeback. But look at Argentina this World Cup. They beat Cape Verde in the 111th minute. They beat Egypt in the 92nd. They beat Switzerland in the 112th.
Amazing.
And yesterday, England, 92nd minute, they score the winning goal. I mean, they are. If there's ever a lesson for Spain in the final, it's no lead is safe.
And they're the best defensive team. They don't give up goals at all, but I'd be careful with you. I'd be a little careful on how I play against these guys, especially if you're going to let Messi sit out there outside and just feed it to his guys, because he is so accurate with his team. Just a great story, man. And Messi, you can't say it enough, man. And I saw the guys overnight just praising Messi. And if there's ever a time with this group, I don't know. I kept hearing that England, both teams have very good players, obviously. They wouldn't be here. But England had the better players, at the top. And you didn't see it. You didn't see it by the way they played last night. So we have that. We've got all kinds of news. We've got Giannis going to officially be introduced to the media today in a press conference. So we'll hear from him. Some people think this LeBron thing, boy, I'll tell you what, I read every damn article now. They got me. They've hooked me in. I hope this truly is the last decision, because now something you're excited about. Look, he's worth waiting for, which I would debate anybody. I don't think he's a distraction. But this is long enough. What else do you need to know?
They've sucked all the drama out of this.
There's nothing else.
Everybody's just saying, just get back to us when he's made the decision at
so
this point, right?
I do believe there's 3, 4, maybe 5 teams that have a chance. Just by what you've heard, before we get into this, I want to ask you, just from all the things you read and see, who's it look like is the number one choice right now? If you're just going by people and what players are saying and front office and people in the business are saying, who's it look like number one is? To me, it looks like it's Golden State.
But that's from the start. Golden State was the conversation. Now, why was that? Because Golden State's putting it out there that we
Steph
want
Curry,
him, we want
Draymond
him.
Green,
Curry, we want
their
him.
front office, their head coach. Now the general manager says we just about have this thing all put together, and everybody went, oh, almost.
That would if I'm LeBron, that's the worst team I would go, unless I want to play cards on the plane with all and have fun. And maybe he does.
Those guys.
Maybe he does. Who were we to judge LeBron at age 41, 42?
Right.
He can go out however he wants. But
you know what I think? I think he respects, I might be wrong, Steph as much as any player in the league. I don't know how much respect he has overall for all these guys.
And he should.
But Steph's a guy that's closer in what he's done in his career and has done things better at certain things like three-point shooting. So I think he respects him to give him a chance, although I agree. If you're truly, I don't see Golden State, even with Jimmy Butler coming back in the second half, how good's that thing going to be? It's going to be the oldest team we've ever seen.
Some writers said that they'd be Golden State on Golden Pond. They would be the old, guys in the rocking chair. Can we get it? Can we go to the court one more time and win? And
do you agree with that?
Yes.
I'll tell you, the most quiet team's been our guys.
Well, the Heat never talk nationally. That's to their benefit and to their detriment. If you watch these shows and the Heat never talk to people nationally or locally for that matter.
But a lot of people still think they still got a pretty good chance to get him. Now, I don't want to get everybody lathered up here today because I don't know. And honestly, he's got his podcast today appearance in New York with Fanatics Fest, and he's got, I think, 2 he's going to be doing, but the first one, and, of course, everybody's hoping besides, Giannis and Bobby Portis having theirs down here that something happens up there. What a great day it'd be for Miami if they all kind of happened the same day.
Now,
it'd be heat day.
LeBron has podcast today and tomorrow at some show in New York. So who's to say he's dragged it out this far? Why not drag it out to now? He did go. There was a show, and I don't know where it came from, but the clip was on Twitter of a show where the host said, even with LeBron, the Heat are no more better than a play-in team. And LeBron put the laughing emoji on it, the 3 laughing faces on that clip. So he's paying attention to what people
he
are
hears
saying.
He's
everything. He's right there.
He's heard
watching the LeBron watch.
He has heard everything. He's heard what everybody said about chasing rings. He's heard it all. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know him well enough. Is he still bothered to hear stuff? I know he does about his son. I've seen him go off on people about.
Well, he went off on Stephen A. Smith.
He did.
He's gone off on, and that's his right. He's
you go after somebody's son, that's different, or wife. Honestly, that's too far.
But I think it's the Heat in Cleveland. If he goes back to Cleveland,
you're going back to the original team that he's played for.
Absolutely, because it's the only thing that makes sense to me.
I think Cleveland's a little concerned.
I would not want to play with James Harden in my last go-around.
I wouldn't either.
And I wouldn't want to play for a Cleveland organization that hasn't proven they can make the tough decisions in big series that win championships. So that's the selling point for the Heat.
Yeah. So anyway.
And golf in January.
And then we're hearing Maxi's real close, and Jimmy, and one of LeBron's favorite young guys is Maxi, who's one. Hey, listen, great player for Philly. So I don't know, and but we'll all be watching. I just hope we know something before we leave tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
I'd like it to be about 6:15 in the morning because I'll be here. Like it would carry the show, Joe, wouldn't it? I mean, that would.
Well, listen, man. If that with Giannis coming to town finally and having this press conference, and hey, I think Bobby Portis can be a big part of this team too. I think for a little throw-in deal there as part of this deal. I have no problem with it. I love the way he plays. And listen, they've done a lot of losing in Milwaukee. Both going to be motivated guys to come down here and do it. We got the British Open going on right now. I came in, the old British Open was already going. USA and NBC. I don't know which one it's on, boys. I don't know if we can get it back there. But yeah, and so we'll be following that for you today as well. We got a bunch of other stuff to get to here. So when we come back, so our podcasters, our football Dolphin podcasters, and we got some Kane stuff from yesterday that we want to get into as well. But I want to talk about this. I see one of the podcasts, and again, you guys, you do great. You got a lot of people follow you. You've built it up. I have great respect for people that do that, especially from the outside. I got to tell you, when I see stuff and you go, oh, our fan base is not going to be happy with the latest news. And I was like, and so I want to hear it. I go, oh, okay, maybe guy's got somebody talking over there in the building, that I didn't get it. None of my coaches called me. And so it's about Jordan Brooks not being respected. I got news for you, my man. Ain't no fan base should be worried about Jordan Brooks. Now, we need to get him a new contract. I said this yesterday. I think it's very important. I think his leadership, obviously you get paid for production, and his production was the best in football. I mean, his numbers don't lie. They were number one in the NFL, 183 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and his leadership is right up there with 183 tackles. One of the great leaders, good team, bad team, and we had at their parts of last year, we were a bad team, and that man is out there like he's playing in a Super Bowl. Some of the best leadership we've had. I hope he gets that new contract, but he's not getting disrespected. People know how good he is. I'm
just curious how the Dolphins work this. They have They've invested a second-round pick on the next great Texas
agree.
Tech. They got Tyrell Dotson. Now he's on a smaller 2 years, 6.2.
But a damn good player and likes to make the calls on the defense.
Yes. and so then there's Jordan Brooks, who everybody, as you just said, knows who he is and what he does, what he brings to the team. But on a team with needs everywhere, now they have 3 productive inside linebackers, and how's that all going to work out?
Well, this is part of you take the best player, even though it wouldn't have been my first choice when you look at our 2 veteran linebackers. They've added a guy that they think, is obvious, and most people watch him play in college think he's going to be unbelievable, real fast. So that could happen. But the only thing I would say for that, because they brought up Devon Achane, not getting the respect for a guy that was 5th in rushing in the NFL. 5.7, didn't have nearly as many carries as a lot of guys, or he'd have led the league. No question in my mind. He was good. This is what happens with awards and where people rank you when you don't win enough games. Just so you know. Just in case you forgot, when you're not a very good football team, your individual players and the guys that do play well don't get the respect. They don't get the respect. When people do these little lists, they don't do it. I'm numb to it at this point. I see great players. I know who the 4 or 5. One thing they did do on this team, one thing they got right, they kept, in my opinion, outside of Waddle, they kept all their best players from last year. If you want to rank the best players from last, I was going to tease it, and I already did.
I was going to say,
I blew right through the tease.
Right over the.
All right.
But there's a lot to talk about.
We do.
There.
Let's come back. That's a good point. Let's come back and we'll jump on this morning, because there is a lot of different parts to this thing. Anyway, hey, right now that was a half tease and a half. I couldn't stop myself, but I do want to tell you about Gary and Harvey. Harvey Cohen and Gary Judah, never too early. Hey, boys, are you up? I wonder if my 2 guys are up this morning. I'll bet you they are. I'll bet those guys are up working right now on your case when you have a slip and fall, an automobile accident, motorcycle accident, and you are with Harvey Cohen and Gary Judah, the partners of Cohen and Judah Injury Law Firm. I'll bet you already know they're up early this morning working on your case, getting it handled from start to finish, everything. No handoffs to other attorneys. They're handling it. You're getting 35 years of experience. These guys are big enough to take you to trial and get you multi-million-dollar results, small enough just to call you back. They don't like handoffs. They don't like other attorneys handling their cases. They know when you come and you want to be with Harvey Cohen and Gary Judah, that's who you're getting. You're not getting all the other attorneys that have a stack, the ones that are a couple years out of college that got a whole bunch of cases on their desk and don't always get back to you because they don't have time. Well, you'll never run into that. And by the way, if you feel like you're not getting treated the way you should and you don't feel like you're a priority where you are right now, I see the TV ads and hear the radio ads. If you don't feel like they're truly handling your case and you're not a priority, you need to go to ConanJudah.com, read the reviews, partners who you can always get a hold of. 866-FAIR-FEE. Go to ConanJudah.com, read the reviews, baby. 866-FAIR-FEE. And remember this, they don't pay other lawyers to do the work you hire them to do.
5-6 I got a sweet tooth. That's when you're going to need a root canal.
All right, welcome back, and a good morning to everybody. I did a really crappy tease, and I couldn't help myself.
You made me think through the break, Joe. What are you talking about? The Dolphins?
So, yeah. And again, hey, man, guys are getting fired up. People want football stuff. I get it. We gave them a ton of Kane stuff yesterday, by the way, and if you missed it, we're gonna run back. The quarterback yesterday was fantastic. Minshaw was just unbelievable about being here. Nobody talks to him. Nobody's really talked to him.
No one's really heard from him.
No.
Right. So it was a great job by you talking to these guys yesterday.
Well, I don't know if it was a great job. It was set up by the school. It's been great. But, it was good starting with Mario early, and he was all fired up. And you kind of know the buttons that get him going. When you start, first of all, he's not big on two things I've learned with Mario, knowing him for 30 or 40 years now. He doesn't like that. We're going to be a great team. Yeah, we're going to be great. And he hates anybody say everybody's going to talk to you about being clearly the best team in ACC, and people have you having a chance to win a national, and all that stuff. He hates that. It's garbage. Nobody knows anything. The second thing he doesn't like, you start talking about certain players and how good they are. Now, it's kind of hard to hide from a couple of guys he's got, including two guys from American Heritage Plantation, your running back and your wide receiver. But overall, when you start talking about young guys that are going to step in and be super, doesn't want to start patting guys on the back before they've done it.
It is interesting having talked to the coordinators and other assistants, and when the question is posed about the strength, they're the same way now. They catch themselves. Now they don't even catch themselves. But initially, when they realize, oh no, we don't talk that way here, And there are two ways,
Well, the players all got the message, because one guy said, I don't know about all that. I'm just going back to work out with my guys and throw to my guys tomorrow. That was a quarterback. Some guys use rat poison.
I was going to say, this is from the right from the Nick Saban Graduate School of Coaching, right?
No. We haven't done anything. No. We haven't done anything, and nothing. We're starting just like everybody else, and that was the message all day long. Let's get back to the for the Dolphin stuff, and to everybody out there that loves the team or follows the team or wondering what's going on with the team. This thing, and now I've heard it. Two guys have been disrespected with rankings. All these rankings come out. First of all, we have a top 100 that's been around forever in the NFL, and we got a lot of cities complaining that a lot of their guys, their best players, didn't go high enough. But they have rankings for individual positions. So it started with Devon Achane, who was fifth in the league in rushing, and I think had the highest yards per carry, which was impressive.
Had the highest yards per carry and highest yards after contact
in the league. Those are great numbers. And so to me, he's a great player when you're that good. And what he did on this team that struggled, he was good. Missed one game and still was fifth in the league, put up big numbers, and led the team in receptions, which people don't realize. So, people, I don't know where they ranked him, but, oh, man, he got screwed, and this guy was ahead of him. Like, hey. And now they're doing it with Jordan Brooks. Oh, Jordan Brooks not getting respect. Hey, fan base, Jordan Brooks not getting respect. Man, you're not going to be happy. What's that have to do with anything? He got respect. He led the league in tackles. They talk about tackling, blocking and tackling. That's what that was the fundamentals of the game when it was put together. Tackling. One of the original stats. That guy was number one of all the guys that make a tackling for a living. He was the best with almost 200 tackles, 183 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and his leadership was even more than his 183 tackles. That guy was amazing with his teammates. So if you want to look at why people aren't talking about him more or everything else with this team, we won 7 games last year, man. You do this in every sport. Oh, man, our guy didn't get respected. I go, no, our team didn't get respected because we didn't win enough games. And so you don't get the benefit of the doubt. This is all. When you get a good team Then all of a sudden, other teams are complaining, oh, man, too many guys on that team, or, you know, and, oh, they're getting this and that. Hey, man, this is what happens. I want to say this to follow it up, Dave, and I want to hear from you. The best 5 players, the best thing they did on this team, outside of Waddle, for me personally, trading to Denver, because you don't have anything close to him. You don't. And maybe one of these rookies will be, but not right now. You re-signed your top, or kept your top 5 players from a year ago. You kept them, in my opinion. Brooks, Achane, Brewer, Zach Sealer, and Patrick Paul, all on the team. And Patrick Paul still a young draft pick, but year 3 for him. But they did. That was the best thing they did, is kept those 5 guys. Most of them are good leaders. Patrick Paul's becoming a really good leader if you listen to him. He's doing it. I don't know about Devon. Nothing against him. I think Devon worries about Devon, which is cool. I just need him to be, he's a quiet guy. He
produces enough.
He produces.
He's the best player on the team as far as, as far as production and big plays and what the offense needs.
I had some guys on my team that, I got to be careful with this because I don't want to ever come out wrong. But they were great game day players, and that's all. They were great players on game day. Now, they didn't follow the rules. They pushed it pretty good, but I did not worry about those guys on Sunday. They were really good. And by the way, they didn't want to be raw guys going around to the whole team, and they didn't want to meet, and they didn't want to stand up in a meeting and go, hey, we need to play better. But you're going to have some of those guys, and that's okay. And Devon might be that guy. Now the team might come out and go, Joe, you're wrong. He's a great leader. Maybe he is. But those other guys, Zach Sealer spent half the year being a babysitter. I mean, he was helping guys to the point it hurt his play in the first half of the year. They started playing better, and everybody goes, man, Zach got a lot better. I go, no. Zach's the same Zach. Zach trusts those guys next to him now because they're playing better.
Yeah, Zach will be fine. With Patrick Paul is the interesting one in that he wants to be great. That's the first thing. Beyond leadership and all that, he wants to be great. You talk to him for the second straight offseason. He went and watched film on every single tackle in the league to try to pick up points, try to, help his game. Okay, can I borrow this? Can I use that little move? And so that, that's sort of you like to hear that about a young guy. So I'm with you. They made the right decisions on keeping the right guys. And Jalen Waddle's the one. But let's talk about these rankings and him now, okay? If you look at it, he got some votes for top 10, but you put it out there, he finished 25th in the voting, okay? Which, that's a decent NFL receiver.
I don't know, by the way, if he's truly a number 1 receiver.
Well, he's not.
But he's a really good number 2 receiver.
But you look at the rankings, there's probably like 12 number 1 receivers. There aren't 30
right, I agree.
One receivers.
Everybody's looking for those special guys. That's why everybody's talking about Jeremiah Smith. He's a number 1 receiver next year.
A number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
Now, with the Waddle, A.J. Brown went for a first round and 2 fifth-round picks to New England. Jalen Waddle and A.J. Brown was 9th ranked receiver. If you believe it or not, but this is a guideline. Waddle went for a first and a third to Denver. So that, you look at the rankings, and that's a good. What we're going to measure Waddle's trade against is Chris Johnson, the cornerback, first-round cornerback, and Chris Bell, the third-round receiver. That's what they got in return. So, and they got rid of his $28 million a year contract.
These deals are all done. I'm just going through this whole thing, going back. Like, I thought they did a great job, and they have one left. I hope they get it done. I think it's important to this team. I do. And Jordan Brooks got more character than capital letters, man. That guy's got more character than just about anybody. But I know he wants a new contract, and I hope they've gotten everybody done. I'm guessing he's had offers, and he's not happy with them. And I hope they can get a deal worked out, because I'd love to see him there happy day one, because of all the leaders, I believe he's the number 1 guy.
I would guess his agent made sure they saw he's ranked as the 7th best linebacker in football. Yeah. I mean, that's in addition to his.
By the way, that's not disrespectful. Like, everybody knows how good Jordan Brooks is in the business. So whatever your guy, if you're into that right now, and that's part of this offseason, and where our guys ranked, and what's the upside, and who's going to have the breakout year, and all. Hey, listen, man, I love all those things too, and we have our own list, and Bo and I talk about these things a lot. But Jordan Brooks and Devon Achane are great players. You don't lead the league, a league full of, like, they're looking for the best tacklers. You're looking for guys that make tackles, one-on-one tackles, and goal line and short yardage tackles. And we got the best guy. His numbers, he was good. And Devon Achane is right up there, man. 5.7 average. For an offensive line, I listened to everybody rip last year, and he was able to have a 5.7 average. So something, first of all, the offensive line's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be when they make the arguments.
Which has started, I Warren Sharp, who I respect as a analyst and an analytic guy, ranked the Dolphins, this offensive line, 29th in the league. That's
a guy didn't do his homework.
Well, he has done his homework. He's a very thorough guy. He's employed by several teams.
So wait a sec. So then you're telling me that Achane just did it all by himself?
I don't know I don't know how to break it all down. Yes, I do. Look, Achane led the league 4.1 yards after contact. Yeah. So he was getting hit early and often and breaking tackles.
He did.
Which, given his size and all the things that he came in, he's proved he's not. He's durable.
Yeah.
He's able to break tackles better than, Bijan Robinson was second in the league at 3.8 yards after contract. Yeah. I guess going to the offensive line, no one sold on the offense from an analytics standpoint. No one is sold on this offensive line. If that's the case,
then the other side of this is Devon Achane's even better than we thought he was. All right, we got to go to break here. No, if we got anything done, but yeah, I don't feel bad for anybody, and I don't want any Dolphin fans saying our guys aren't getting respected. Those top guys get respect, and everybody knows in the league how good they are. Hey, man, something else I want to tell everybody out there before we get to football season and anything else. I just want to make sure you're all right out there, man. And I'm talking about your mental health. I'm talking about depression, anxiety, things that knock you off the road a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Job, relationships, all those things. Sometimes you bounce back. Hey, man, I was able to bounce back after a little while. Sometimes you need some help. I've been there too, man. And if you do, I want to tell you about Dr. Barry and his team at Recovery Unplugged, because they have your back. Their mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale is private, comfortable space for you to heal, or somebody you know to heal that you care about. With music-based care that hits the right note, they accept most major insurance plans. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. This summer, heal out loud. Hey, when we come back, University of Miami quarterback going to join us. We're going to hear about this season coming up and why he decided to come to the U.
The Joe Rose Show is
South Florida. It's great to have you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Hey, I got to ask you. First of all, we haven't had a chance to really talk, but hey, as good as you were, and you had a great season last year at Duke. You guys win the ACC championship, and you throw for a zillion yards and 34 touchdowns, and obviously have your choice to go to a lot of different places. What made you choose at the end of the day when you decide, hey, I'm going to University of Miami? Can you just tell us what went into the whole process for you?
Yeah, we were just talking about it. I think, seeing what the last two quarterbacks did at the University of Miami was a huge reason as to why I came here. And, just the success that they had at this level. And then, obviously the goal is to get to the NFL, and seeing that they both got there, it just made it a really attractive spot for me. So, and then the roster is pretty deep too. So, the chance to compete for a national champion as well.
Yeah, we were out there, Darren, and saw a little bit of everything, including your number one receiver from last year, Cooper Barkate. But man, you got guys that can fly. You got tall guys. You got Malachi in the middle. You got a little bit of everything. I wanted to ask you about the talent from about 1 through about 10 of what you saw. Different body styles, different abilities. What'd you see from that wide receiver room in spring?
Yeah, it's easily one of the most talented rooms I've been around. Like you said, we've got tall, short, quick, fast. Literally, you name it, we've got it in our room. But I think there's a few cats who are kind of under the radar who are going to have a big year for us this year. I think that Dalen Upshaw is going to have a big year, and Josh Moore as well are two of my favorite targets to throw to. Obviously, Malachi Tony is a great player and an unbelievable kid as well. So. And then, my guy, my best friend, Cooper Barkate. So we've got a lot of studs in the receiving room, but and I didn't even name half of them. So that's just,
okay.
A few.
Hey, Darren, what's so funny is I think the relationship you and Cooper going back to high school is just an incredible story. How hard was it to recruit him to get him out of Duke and go to UM, or was that an easy one?
It wasn't that hard. I'm his guy and he's my guy. So, we kind of just made the decision together to come here. I think just the chemistry we have on the field and off the field makes it hard to separate us. So we kind of moved as one, and it wasn't the hardest decision for him, I don't think.
So expectations, as at the University of Miami when it comes to football, I'm sure you've seen the history. You've seen all the names up there when you're practicing of all the great players, Hall of Fame players, All-American players. What's that like the first or second time you see that and you're going, holy smokes, when it really kicks in, I'm at the U?
It's absolutely inspiring. I aspire to be, one of the greatest of all time. And so to go up there and you're practicing every day and you're seeing those names, it's just something that drives me to be better each and every day. So it just turns me up, to be honest, and makes me strive to be, up there one day.
Hey, Darren, you spend a lot of time working out. I've seen the stories with you and Cam Ward, who we know pretty well, and becomes the number one overall pick. I'm just curious, when you're working out with them and spending time, what have you learned most from the guy that was the number one overall pick in the NFL?
He just is extremely intense about his work and super competitive. And so he just gets after it. And it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, if it's hot, cold, raining, it doesn't matter. He's going to put in the work. And I think that's something that I took away from, I've only worked out with him one time and that's what I took away from it. So just being extremely intense about your work.
Hey, Darren, the other thing is all these guys, you guys throw pretty much all off season. I know you have spring football and you probably take a little bit of time off, but you spend a lot of time with those guys throwing?
With the receivers?
Yeah, in the off season.
Absolutely. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. We spend a lot of time together. Here in the summer, I've been running the meetings and just trying to get on the same page with them, telling them how I want to run certain routes. And I think it's been super beneficial for us. But yeah, I mean, the more time we spend together, the better we'll be, come fall. So.
Hey, another guy, Shannon Dawson, who everybody raves about as offensive coordinator, especially the last two quarterbacks. What have you liked most working with? I just got to start with what I like. I love how many deep passes you guys throw during practice in spring. I don't think you can get better throwing deep unless you throw deep in practice. So I love Shannon does that. But what have you learned from Shannon Dawson or like about him?
I think what I love most is he leaves the quarterback to be free to create. Like, he is not trying to, contain the quarterback. He wants you to own the offense, and I think I've stepped into that in a great way. And I think that he just, like I said, he'll let you do whatever you like to do. That's what the offense is going to be. So I like how he just creates the offense around what I like to do, and he leaves me free to do what I want.
Hey, Darren, besides those receivers, which everybody's talked about, some think it's the best wide receiver room. They also rave about the guys behind you at the running back, starting with Mark Fletcher, who's up there with you. Talk about that group, and if you can, the offensive line. A lot of young guys, including some true freshmen, might start this year in Cantwell. How's that group come together for you in front of you and behind you?
Yeah, I think both groups have done a tremendous job. As far as protection goes, I think that I mentioned this earlier in the year. Coach Mirabal, he's always going to have the O-line coached up. So I'm not worried about a true freshman. If Coach Mirabal thinks he can play, he can play. And I trust him, Coach Mirabal, with my life. And same with all the running backs behind me. I think that Fletch, GP, Chris Wheatley, Marty Brown, Jordan Lott, like every single running back and our true freshmen, JV and Mallett, like all of our running backs can play this year and make a huge impact. So I'm super excited to get out on the field and play with them. But I think that, my front five and the backs behind me are going to have, exceptional years.
I can't wait. Listen, man, everybody's getting lathered up. Listen to this right now. Hey, Darren, I also wanted to ask you, so we go to Dolphin practices, and the NFL's a little different deal, and then we go to your practices, both spring and during when you guys start camp here pretty soon. Man, they're competitive, man. You guys, whether it's a one-on-one drill with the linemen or a defensive backs and wide receivers going at a one-on-one, does that take a while? Is that normal everywhere, as competitive as your practices are you've seen with University of Miami in spring football?
To be honest, I don't think so. I think the biggest difference is, we walk through, every team has walkthroughs, but when we walk through, like we are going at it, like, and it's not, it's supposed to be walking tempo, but we are, I wish we were going a little slower, but we're just that competitive. And I think, iron sharpens iron. We've got great players on both sides of the ball, and they just drive, everybody else to get better.
Yeah. Hey, so living in South Florida, got to ask you that one. Obviously, you come down here. It's different than anywhere else. I don't know if you'd been here before when you were playing up at Duke. Taking a while to get used to Coral Gables, South Beach. Have you had a chance to get out and see it a little bit?
Yeah, I have. My mom and I, we really enjoy, being by the beach. It's where we grew up. I'm from the Central Coast is what we call it. So, like 10 minutes away from the beach. And so I think I've, adjusted well. I think I fit right in as soon as I got on campus. But, I moved to Miami for the same reason as everybody else, is the weather. So,
it's funny because we know money comes into play a little bit, but you looked at the talent. You talked about your best opportunity to get to the NFL. And I always wonder, for you guys coming in as a transfer portal guys, or even getting recruited out of high school, how much the guys go, man, this living in Miami, man, this is not bad. Small campus. And I mean, are you kidding me? People spend thousands of dollars to come down here on vacation. Does that come into play a little bit when you're making that decision and talking to your family?
Making that decision as far as
coming to Miami, just going, hey, this Miami thing, man, now that I've been down here, this is not a bad place to be.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Miami's a really fun spot, to say the least.
Yeah.
But I think that what makes Miami special is the people there. I think, all my teammates, as soon as I got on campus, they made it feel like home. But I have, people outside of the organization who were extremely helpful in my transition. I had a realtor who was, helped me find a house and was, super helpful and just really a blessing. So I think just everybody in Miami has been, super special and has really helped me transition to a great spot. Yeah,
that's great. Darren, I hear you say your mom's down here, going to be down here with you too, some or a lot of the time?
Yes, sir.
That's great, man. I listen, I think it's great. First of all, the cooking's going to be, I guess mom's pretty good cook, huh? She can.
Yeah, for
She's-
sure. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm a mama's boy, so
yeah,
she does
that's
a
all
lot
right.
for me.
I think we all are a little bit. That's all right, Darren. Hey, man, that's a nice touch right there. Hey, man, it's been great talking to you. I really appreciate it. I think people are really excited. We haven't heard from you much, so getting a chance to talk to you a little bit, and I know you're as fired up as everybody. You all right with the expectations where they are for this team? You know, everybody's raving about this team, not only in the ACC but nationally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really pay attention to the expectation. You know, we've got practice tomorrow, so I'm just trying to be exceptional
Yeah.
at practice. You know, I'm not really focused on what other people have to say about this team. I'm really just focused on the team itself.
Yeah. Hey, Darian, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. We'll see you soon out there. Great talking to you, and
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Darian Minsall, Canes quarterback, joining us to talk a little bit. Time to tell you about getting your Hurricanes work all done here. And when it comes to hurricane season, Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing are saying, hey, it's not too late. Not too late to make that call and get started. Get started right now, whether it's about getting new windows, getting a new door, getting a new roof. They do it all for you. Matter of fact, their windows, Hurricane Category 5 rated. Loctite Impact provides 100% financing with zero down, no interest. I didn't want to get caught up with you on some of the other news going on up there, including some potential changes and some things that might be going on. I thought it was interesting. The commissioner for the ACC was all in on a 2014 playoff. Way too many. Not that many good teams. A waste. Terrible. What'd you think?
Well, Joe, good morning. Dave, good morning. It's great to see you.
Big Bo just came in the house.
I can't wait to see Bo.
There you
seen
go.
Bo in a while.
Full house. I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah.
All dressed.
Yeah.
He looks a lot better than he does
He
when
does.
comes here in the studio. With those
He
crappy shorts he's got on. And his hair all askew.
Yeah.
You don't have to take this. You go right at him. Bo just
Well,
sat
I
down
was
and right
gonna-
at him.
Oh, God.
I usually like to introduce Bo and announce his hometown, but I'm in a crowd full of like professional people.
I've never
here, so I
seen
probably
anything
wouldn't
like
do
it.
that,
Yeah.
but,
Let's leave that alone. That's
uh,
what do you think of 2014?
by the way, the Capital One Orange Bowl Media Tour is presented by Duffy's. That's
Oh,
why
there
I'm
you
here
go.
in Charlotte,
All right.
and
Gotcha.
yeah, I had to get that in there, Joe.
Gotcha.
Sorry. Well, I think the commissioner probably should have talked to some of the coaches before he said that it was unanimous that everyone wanted 24.
Yeah, he didn't
But,
ask Mario,
clearly that wasn't
who
so
said 12
accurate.
works. And by the way, didn't beat around the bush. 12's plenty.
Yeah, and I've talked to some people up here, and it's like the consensus kind of is when you go to 20, like when is enough, right? Because if you go to 24, 25 and 26 are going to be upset that they didn't get in. There's also, realistically, guys, how many teams do you think, let's go back to last season. How many teams do you think had a realistic shot to make it through that gauntlet of teams and actually win a championship that were in that thing?
I would say 7 or 8. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, I would say that 6 or 7.
Yeah, but it's
The
no more
two
than that.
two
No more than
low end
that.
teams that won got their ass kicked in the first round. They
On
they
the other
can't be
hand,
in.
they're looking at Cape Verde in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Farley
True.
Dickinson in the NCAA being a fun story.
Notre
So-
Dame Notre
they
Dame
did
had a
get
chance
two
to
of
win
those
some
teams
games.
in.
By the
But
way,
it's a lot easier to be
Two
a
of
Fairleigh
those teams
Dickinson
got
when
in
it's
last year,
basketball, not
right?
football.
Yes.
that's true.
Well,
too.
the other thing is, how many games do you want these
Yeah,
kids
well,
playing?
there you go.
I mean,
It's
Well,
business now. They're getting paid.
Well,
Nobody cares.
no, they got studies. They got to get back. They got to get back to their exams.
that's one thing you never hear about anymore. Student athlete.
No. Some of them are still. Joe doesn't like that. I love Joe, president at University of Miami, and he goes, "Can you still like that? There are student athletes." I said, "They're professional football players now, man. They're getting paid.
Professional students.
Professional student athletes. There are guys that get degrees and care about it, but there's a lot of guys there that just let me get through this. And by the way, I'm gonna make some money while I'm here. But yeah, so I think they're 6, 7. I thought Notre Dame could have competed against a lot of those teams last year. They didn't get in. Whether you don't agree. I think Notre Dame could have.
I think would
have had a chance to beat Alabama and some of the other
They have
teams.
lines to match up, for instance, against the Miami and that's really what it started. Who can match up with Miami? Indiana obviously did, but I'm curious.
Indiana's well coached. Good God, that's
what's
a
it like
well-coached
being
team.
the top dog in the ACC? Everybody's talking about Miami, which 10 years ago we were like, oh, well, Miami will never be Miami again, and now they are. And
Oh,
what's
they're
it like
clearly
up
the
there?
big dogs. Yeah.
What's it like up there, Hollywood?
There was a lot of people here yesterday that I do not see here today. So there were a lot of people for Miami yesterday. But look, Dave, the bottom line is Miami has had talented teams over the years, and it's not like they've been picked toward finished towards the bottom of this thing. It's just those games that they slip up in, right? And Joe, we talk about this a lot. It's you got to win the games like last year in the middle of the season.
Louisville.
They found a way to slip up. And
Yeah.
the other thing, look, Miami's got to find a way to not, be complacent with this either, right? They're getting a lot of compliments up here. Mario's walking around, every player's walking around, and all they hear is how great this football team is and how you guys have, turned the corner and all this different stuff. And it's like, all right, you got to stay hungry. You can't buy into all that hype and just go, take the field and expect you're going to win now.
Well, you look at ACC and the Miami in the ACC, right?
Yeah.
How long have they been in the ACC?
How long have they been, Woody? How long has that been now?
It's got to be over 20 years
So the
now, right?
point being, it took them from the time they got into say 20 years to be the Miami they thought was coming into the ACC.
But they still haven't won the
They
ACC.
never.
No,
yeah,
but-
no, no,
but-
but
but
no,
Bo
no.
said-
I
no,
agree,
be the team.
I
I mean,
agree
the
with you.
quality,
But they've never won it.
that
No.
dominant team that
Yeah.
that you were going to continue to carry over after who Coker left and that, and when they got in there, and then and it's took them this long to be that team.
It has
Right?
been. You're right.
But they were never
Coker-
committed as a university.
No.
And from I remember going out there and Randy Shannon showing me a list of ACC coaches' pay. He was the second to last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Manny Diaz said the same thing. Like, I don't have money. You got to
Yeah,
give me some money to work with.
Facilities. I mean,
Facilities.
they're way behind in that.
the
Not
change
now.
of presidents and meant a complete change of philosophy
No.
in sports.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. Facilities, check. Pay, check. Coaches pay, check. Being able to recruit with a big budget, check. You see where they're getting all these guys. This national, you can't have a top 5 or 6 recruiting class unless you can recruit the whole country.
Yeah.
And they pull out the number 1 cornerback in the country out of Southern California. That takes work.
Well, they were the smart. When the rules changed, they were at the front of the line of, okay, we're going to take advantage of these rules, as opposed to the ACC powerhouse at the time, Clemson, saying, no, we're not going to go that route.
How'd that work out?
Well, they're changed. Dabo, as Joe and I talked about the other day. How's Dabo Sweeney up there anyways? Has he changed his tune, Danny?
So I'm going to speak to him I believe tomorrow. We are going to have Dabo on with us here. But I was also told, Joe, just so you know, in case I forget to tell you this, Belichick will not be making it down to Radio Row this year
For a second straight year. By the way, I got to ask you.
Interested.
So the reason they want to come on especially our show, not because of me, because we have 7 million people. We have the largest area of any ACC team there is, right? Except Boston College. I mean, they got a lot of people up there as well. But so it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard that he doesn't come on these shows when their biggest problem they have is recruiting, and get his message and let people hear from him, and leave your little girlfriend at home and do an interview. Makes sense.
To get that in there.
Wow.
Maybe that's
Maybe
why
I
I didn't
did.
come on this show.
But why?
Yeah, but look,
why would he
you know,
not
he
do
knows
it?
the world he's walking into. The world he's walking into from the NFL is not drafting guys and they come to you. You got to go out and you got to get to this. So, you know, all he's doing is he's just burying that program with not, you know, what I mean, why not? I mean, you be on all these all these ACC, whether they're big markets or small markets,
right.
you know, there may be
In
a
them
gem
all.
in there that you pull out, and so hey, it's better for the rest of the coaches not having him around, because he certainly would draw a crowd everywhere he goes, right?
There are a lot of old school guys. I think, Woody, you agree with Bo saying there are a lot of old school parents out there like the way Belichick did things.
Yeah.
I think Bo is 1,000% right. And let's look like Mario Cristobal, Dabo Sweeney. These are bigger names in college football than Bill Belichick. And these guys are going to hit every single one of these radio stations while they're down here. Like, Bill Belichick doesn't play the game, and it comes off as that he doesn't care, in my opinion.
Well, it was easy in the NFL because you
100%.
didn't have to go out and, you know, get in front of the camera to get people to come to your thing. You just, you know, you draft them, you pay them, and you play them.
Right.
Right.
No, completely different. And if you get a salty guy, he's under your contract. There's nothing he can do about it. Shut up and do your job, I think, is what Belichick's
Does
big
he
thing
have the
is.
personality to recruit?
No.
In a
But don't
college
you have
level?
to be
He has to develop it real quickly, right? I think he does. Look, when I did the Jimmy book, I set up. He talked for 45 minutes to me, and after 20 minutes, I said, "Hey, I got plenty. That's great." He goes, "No, let's keep talking." So he does have that personality. He just, as a Patriots coach, he kind of didn't need to show.
You know, I got a glimpse into his personality. I remember when Mandich was still here, and we had him in a you know, in there was some. So it was when Nick came here. So we were talking to Nick, and Greasy asked him, "Hey, what'd you do this summer?" He goes, "Why? You know, me and Bill Belichick, we had a great vacation. We went up to West Point. You know, we're up there, and beautiful West Point and everything." And we go, "What?" He says, "What'd you do?" He says, "We sat in the room for 2 days and went over the 2 deep defense. It was great." And that was and that's the personality of those two guys. Although Nick was able to to switch the switch and become a personality in the recruiting space. Not, it's not, he wasn't in North Carolina, but he was in Alabama.
The
But I mean,
difference is when Saban was here, he'd show you his personality. He'd tell you stories
yeah.
of West Virginia. He'd tell you stories of
Yeah.
developing players and stuff. And you never got that really from
Nick Saban's very likable on Saturdays. He's made that college football show better. And I didn't think I was going to say that when he got that job. He's been great with McAfee.
I tell you what, I think Pat McAfee pulled that personality out of him.
I do too. I'm with you. And McAfee's not, that hasn't been his cup of tea, that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Through the years. I sat behind him the first year on the plane, and I lasted 2 games, and he moved me to the back. I go, what happened? He said, you were relentless on him. He said you wouldn't stop talking. He was watching says he's watching tape, and he said, this guy Rose looks over my shoulder and goes, what are you looking for, coach, right now?
Joe, you kept talking.
And I saw his wife. He knocked his wife one minute.
There wasn't a fence post around to talk to.
See, I like covering Saban when he was I like covering Saban when he was with the Dolphins.
Man, these guys are bad guys. Y'all didn't have an empty beer bottle to talk to. You're a bad man. We got to go to break on that, Bo. You got that jab in. That's fair. Come on, dude. What? We got to go. Let's go, man. We want to get home. Dude, you had to tell 9 more stories, right? They're relentless, man.
No, I remember walking out of a hotel, and there's Bo and Jimmy, and they're looking back at Joe, and they say, oh, Joe's starting talking to a stranger.
Yeah, it's every Saturday night. It's every Saturday night.
My wife says, Bo and Jimmy are exactly right. You talk to people you don't know. I don't know why you do it. It's
I think
so
that's a great
embarrassing.
talent.
No,
It is.
I am jealous
It is.
of that. I am jealous of being able to
it's
do
not
that.
when you want to get to dinner or
that's
get
different.
back. Yeah.
I'm a good high and buy guy.
Hey, I want to tell you about your South Florida Chevy dealers, man. I got to tell you, these trucks have never looked better than they do right now. Chevy Colorado, boy, I call it a great South Florida truck, the ZR2, maybe the Colorado Custom for you, but then into the Chevy Silverado. From the custom Trail Boss to the Silverado EV with 10 models and 4 powerful engine choices, Silverado delivers an impressive balance of strength, dependability, and efficiency. Or you can step up that hard-working Chevy Silverado HD. Maybe the powerful LTZ with the premium style and substance to match, or go to the biggest, that Chevy Silverado HD High Country. We got a truck absolutely perfect for your lifestyle. You got to stop by one of those 14 dealerships out South Florida. Nothing like it, man. Chevy's got a Florida truck for you. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today. Together, let's drive.
WQAM.
All right, welcome back and a good morning to everybody out there, man. It's great to have you with us. Last night, Bo, we were talking about this to start the show. Kim Bocamper in with us, Dave Hyde in with us all day, Dan Day and Jamie. We got everybody, Woody, of course, up at the ACC meetings for kickoff that's going on today and tomorrow as well. We had the University of Miami guys on yesterday. Hey, Bo, how many times have we seen the old prevent defense where you have a nice lead and you change your style of play?
Oh, you talking about England?
England last night's up 1-0, and I don't know what the hell they did. They made a couple changes to bring in some defensive
they had an
players.
old defensive coordinator from the Dolphins.
Chuck Studley.
All I know is they started
Tom
firing
Olivadotti.
shots. They
Let's
must
bring out some of the big
Oh,
names.
my
Tom
God.
Olivadotti, right?
Oh, Tom hated me. I just, you say somebody's name from the past, and this talk radio business just not been good.
Yeah.
And Tom Olivadotti actually confronted me at a off season. He goes,
Right.
I just want to let you know, he took over after
He
he didn't take over right after Arnsparger, did he?
No.
He was a couple
Chuck
later.
Studley, Chuck Studley. So Chuck left, or Bill left, in our last Super Bowl.
That's right.
And then so Chuck came in. He came in the year. He left the year before. So Chuck was 1 year as a defensive
I
coordinator.
believe Chuck
That was
left
a
in
disaster
the middle on a
too.
plane flight back.
Chuck was. We had that 3-4 defense
Yeah.
and multiple fronts, and he came from San Francisco. Oh, we're going to run this 4-3 defense. Everyone's going 4-3. We got 245, 250 pound outside guys.
Right.
We can't do And then, oh no, we're going to be great. And then I remember.
That was bad.
I remember Glenn and Lyle going, this is
Yeah,
a
right away.
disaster.
All you guys.
right away.
The whole
Right.
team, the
Yeah.
offensive guys
Right.
go.
Yeah.
He apparently hasn't been watching the Dolphins.
Then he brought in some defensive line coach from Buffalo, and it was a disaster.
It was bad.
Yeah.
So all of it. I were at a softball tournament, and I like Tom. I got nothing against. If
Yeah.
I saw Tom right now, I'd say, Tom, you okay? And he'd probably go, no, I still hate your guts. But so anyway, we're at this thing, and he comes up to me. We're getting ready to play, and I knew I was hard on him. I'm aware of what I had said, and he jumped in my face pretty good, and he said, "Hey, man, to make you feel good that I can't even go outside, and my family can't even go outside to get the newspaper without hearing comments because and we weren't." And all of it, I had a son at St. Thomas, I think, was playing football.
Kirk, who actually has become a really good NFL coach.
He is,
Yeah. I'm trying to say good things because this was a name I said I'm never going to say it because
you can say it on this show.
I used a throwaway line once in a column a few years ago.
And it came back to bite you
And
in the
he
butt.
emailed me, and I felt
Same guy?
so bad.
Who was it?
Olivadotti. I felt so bad because
he's a good
right.
guy.
He's a good guy.
I hope I made you feel better.
No, yes, you did. I thought, thank God. But here's my larger point. For the past 4 decades with the Dolphins, we've had to take the elevator down with good guys at bad times in their careers, and it's really been no fun.
No,
it's really been no fun to have to write and say it's just not working.
Yeah,
Nick Saban. I don't think he's going to make it here. He picked the wrong quarterback.
You got
you're the one that stirred it up.
You're the one that drug that line. I'm not going to Alabama.
I wish I had patent rights to that line, to that answer.
Back then we had the the coaches show.
Yeah,
and I was doing Bo, and since then you're doing all these shows, but back then and right after he'd do his press conference, we would do the show, and this was at the end of the year, and that was a big one when all the stuff was flying. And friggin' Dave Hyde asked him point blank because he was getting all fired up that everybody was asking him because he knew he was getting ready to get caught in a big lie. And Dave Hyde, are you going to be
Here's
the
the
next
thing. I thought I was helping him out.
No, you did. You wanted to get right to it.
Say what you mean. Say what he was dancing.
How big was a smile on your face when he said, "I'm not going to Alabama"?
I was like, you know what? I didn't think he was going to Alabama.
And then the next day, there's a moving truck outside of his house, right?
I think everybody knew, but Dave didn't let it go. So now he comes in, and we're sitting there, and we got the 3 cameras back then, and I'm sitting there, and I just seen how awkward everything was. And here comes Harvey. And I got to tell you, Harvey loves Nick. And I said, Nick treated you like crap. Oh, no, he's one of my favorite. I go, Harvey, I'm telling you, he treated you like a trash bag full of full of poop and crap from a dog. He did. He treated you. And so he comes in and he goes after Harvey. Because he wasn't, no, I didn't say anything. Our camera guys are just set up trying to put together a 30-minute show, and he is pissed. And he's like, so he's going after your stuff and stuff. I got to answer this stuff, and I got to give it to him. He did that show, and he talked about, part of the show was, hey, what do you need to do to get better next year? What are you thinking? And well, because it was over, and he broke it down. And he was in a bad mood. He stopped like twice because the camera guy goes, he went out, and I go, ooh, boy, he's really mad. He went after one of the camera guys, which is a cowardly thing to do. Camera guys just shooting. And it might have been David Rodriguez who had a little stutter to him. He might hit him with that. Yeah, he hit him a little bit there. So anyway, we're going through it, and then he leaves. And years later, Harvey's telling me, oh, no, he was a great guy. And I go, Harvey, he blasted you that day. That's all. The last thing I remember. Walked out the door, and the rest is history. And you're now tied to the story forever.
Now, to his credit, I've talked to him since, a handful of times.
He said he made a mistake.
And he's fine. He's fine.
Let me ask you this,
with
Dave.
me, or at least he acts fine.
All your years in the newspaper business, what was the most uncomfortable time? Like what was that
you had some guys that didn't like you, Dave? Who
where you said something it's something that you had to say, that because right. but the guy that you said it to was like, chewing your ass out.
Right. Now the most uncomfortable time was Brian Cox.
Yeah.
And they lost a game at San Diego. Remember the playoff game? They were up 21-0, I believe 21-3 at half, and they lost.
That was then the opener. Arsbarger was the defensive coordinator that time, I think.
Was he? Oh,
no, Arnsey was gone by the time Brian.
Yeah,
Cox
he was gone.
No,
was gone
for
San Diego. Yeah.
Oh,
and they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're right.
The Super Bowl was here.
Yeah.
But anyways, in the next year they opened up against Indianapolis, and they had a lead and they lost it. And so I made some comparison. I walk in. Since Harvey, we're talking Harvey. I go out to camp the next day, and Harvey says, "Hey, can you do me a favor and not go in the locker room?" And I'm like, well, I guess I got to go in the locker room. I don't know what this is. I walk in, and there on the whiteboard, Dave Hyde, blank, blank, blank. Okay.
Oh, you made the chalkboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was like, and then Brian Cox's locker is at the far end, and he starts yelling at me across the locker room.
And now,
hey, bleep, 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 bleep,
with Brian
bleep.
Cox, you had to be careful because you didn't know he might not. Verbal might get physical. Brian he go a little crazy.
But what can
sometimes.
you do? So I made that walk of shame across the locker room, across all the players and other writers, and he's getting louder as I'm getting closer.
All eyes are on
and we talk, and again, Brian, it was an uncomfortable conversation, but the point is, you have to confront him when it happens.
Yeah.
So I would see Brian years later. He was a Dolphin assistant, and we joke about it. But
he let it go.
He let it. Most people let it go.
Remember what he did with WIOD when WIOD had
that led to this because Phil Henry used that clip of Dave Hyde bleep bleep bleep. He says, "Oh, he's gay," and he made a whole segment, which led to a whole nother leg of that issue.
That's back when that stuff was very common at QAM and IOD.
So at that point, Mad Dog he would go in the locker room after the games. Remember with the mic, Matt, he didn't care,
and he asked
and so he goes to he goes to Brian Cox. And he starts to answer his question. He goes, "Wait a minute." So Brian says, "Mad Dog, I love you, but QAM, you can, And then he goes, "Okay, ask me what you want."
Yeah.
I mean, he just,
And by the way, they were throwing it out there.
It was WIOD, I think.
It was
WIOD.
Yeah.
But oh my God, that's funny. And back then a lot of stuff got on the air.
Oh yeah, because there's
a lot of stuff back then. After those shows, we get stuff, and we have to apologize for those comments we just made.
It wasn't just that. Remember, Channel 7 had a naked dolphin on the air in the background.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
my
that
God.
became a huge
right.
crisis inside the
Oh.
team and coverage, understandably, but
We had that happen with the Marlins, and I remember it was Josh Beckett naked, purposely walking behind the live shot. And there they go. They didn't catch it.
well, this one was John
And they put
Offerdahl.
it
It was John
on.
Offerdahl, who the nicest,
Oh, yeah.
the best guy,
Of anybody,
and
yeah,
a
right?
wholesome guy, and somehow he's in this middle of this firestorm, which he didn't want to be,
No,
and it was bad for everybody.
Oh, well, that was a great question to hide, man. That is great. Listen, we've all had them at some point. They're not pretty. I tell you what, I had a bad run with the Marlins going in that locker room all the time.
Who's it? Mark Kotze?
No, it wasn't Kotze.
Who
It
was
was
it?
one of the pitchers.
Who was it? No, so
AJ Burnett, maybe.
No, I don't know.
No.
But we're in the we're in the club. We're on the clubhouse, and I hated going to that clubhouse.
It was terrible.
You know, they were bad guys. You're sitting there, and you're sitting there, and you got to wait 15 minutes while they're putting their socks on, and you're waiting there to talk to them. And that little that hour or so that you had in the clubhouse, and then you go, and then they're done. They go, you go, hey, can I talk to you? No, I got to.
We got to
go.
go.
Why didn't you tell me 15 minutes ago when I'm standing here? So anyway, so whoever it was blows Joe off, right? And he's having a bad year, and so he blows Joe off, and Joe goes, and so he starts walking away. And goes, oh yeah, what are you doing? Going to check out where your all-star ballots are? You're
all the way out the door.
You're like 1 in 15, or you're looking to see if you're going to the all-star game.
Yeah.
I mean, and wouldn't even stop.
I let him have it. I
mean,
hit stats at him.
With
The goal is to hit your weight at least.
both barrels, man.
And boy, he heard everything. And so now they call me and they go, hey, he's really upset.
Yeah.
Some of the guys thought it was funny. By the way, some of those guys thought they were, the few guys like me cracked up, but they go, hey, dude, you mind going out and just saying, hey, man, let it go. So I go out, they go back out. Now it gets to everybody, and the team's going, you need to go back out there because, they want everybody out there. And some of those guys were really hard to work with.
Really hard.
Yeah. So I went out and I said, hey, man, I'm sorry about that. And he couldn't even say he was salty. He had trouble coming
wasn't
over.
Taking the apology.
He was not taking. He goes, I accept it or nothing. He was done. That relationship was, you called me out, and I was going out to see my parents before we were flying out of town, and I said, well, dude, we weren't going to keep you that long. We just wanted to ask you, and he didn't. Both thought that stuff was funny in the back. I had Bo. I knew Bo had my back because they were scared the hell of him because they knew his reputation as a badass, so I was good. Hey, speaking of that, I got to tell you about the good Marlins right now, man. Coming off a great June, nice little July, couple of brooms out there for a couple of the series, and now back in action starting tomorrow night against Milwaukee. And, boy, I got to tell you, there's a lot of great things going on. And if you're looking for the best value in South Florida for this summer, when they do get back, they got a lot of home games coming up. Catch the Marlins and Phillies July 27th, 28th, and 29th, man. That could be for a wild card spot, just a game behind the Phillies, and take advantage of a fan favorite offers they've got going on for the 2 for $25. Score 2 tickets plus 2 canned beers for just $25. Get your tickets today. Marlins.com/Dolphin tickets. Marlins.com/tickets, and check it out. Marlins got a lot of games left and playing some great baseball. Hope you get a chance to get out to a game.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by Locked
All right, before we get back to the show here, I want to let you know that DraftKings is live in all 50 states. And yes, that means you, Florida. The Cup is down to its final matches. One trophy, one champion. DraftKings has you covered for every single one. The DraftKings app is now live in Florida. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers, you can sign up with the code 1043WQAM. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1043WQAM. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim, issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
You're listening to the Joe
Rose
Rose Show. This hour is brought to you by Baptist Health.
And now, it's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, Woody, what do you have for us today up there in ACC country?
All right, guys, I got a few for you here, Joe. First things first, we had some ratings come out for our tennis tournament. The women's final actually set a viewership record.
Did it? I didn't know either one of the girls.
In Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Really?
Everybody got knocked out. It was another one where all the top seeds, 9 versus 10 still.
Really?
Anyway,
You didn't know Linda Noskova or Karolina Muchova?
No.
I didn't know much about Muchova. I didn't know.
No, about Muchova. What do you got?
Move over.
So they got great ratings, huh?
They did. On the other side, Joe, not as good. They were down 17%. Because Alcaraz was in last year's final, so that's why it was down.
I deserve that. You're fine.
Apparently, Zverev is not as big of a draw.
He's number 2 seed. I loved it. I'm not big on 4.5 hours, but
you're not.
His
You're not
center
the
isn't
audience
selling
they're
it
worried
yet.
about.
No, his person. That's you need a personality.
I hate to say this might be a bad example, but I'm going to do it for Bo. Sinner's a little bit like Scheffler. I just don't know if he moves.
Yeah, it doesn't move the needle. I mean,
and by the way, they're unbelievable players.
Yeah,
both number 1. I'm not sure Scheffler.
But I went out to Doral this, and Scheffler's like, okay,
he's just
he's exactly what he seems like.
He is,
on TV.
Good guy.
Top 10 every
guy.
week. Did miss a cut last week.
You got to have a little pizzazz,
a little
to
something. I mean, so they try to, from a standpoint of records, they're trying to compare him to Tiger, which he's kind of in that arena. But from what you see, these Tiger dramatic shots like these crazy, you can count 15 shots that you remember from Tiger that were like just out of this world. But Scheffler's just steady Eddie.
But
there's
the other
Pete
thing
Sampras
is,
to him.
Scheffler has 1 win this year. Got one early in the year. He's had like 4 or 5 second place finishes.
Yeah.
Always in the top 10. He missed a cut for the first time in like 3 years. But
you're not putting very. He's
comparing him
putts.
to Tiger, though, sort of like
nothing.
When we were comparing Tyreek Hill's Dolphin Day to the Duper and Clayton, and I remember talking to Duper.
We need to stop on that.
They'd say, "Come back in 10 years."
That was Dupe's line.
Yeah, it was.
If you're going to talk about how good you two are together, come back in 10 years and we'll have this discussion how you are with Mark and Mark.
Yeah,
we know how that ended. All right. What else you got, Woody? Sorry about that.
Did you want to talk more golf? I don't want to interrupt you guys.
I deserve that. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
One of Bo's favorite events happened last night. I know he was up late watching this. The ESPYs.
Oh, no.
Were last night. Bo, you a fan?
I didn't watch it.
No,
I didn't
never watch
either.
it.
Did you see it, Dave?
Yeah,
I didn't see it, but I'm curious who won. Because
what did they win?
It was actually a fun show. So they win an ESPY. It was in New York last night, so the Knicks kind of cleaned up here. You had best championship performance went to Jalen Brunson.
Yes,
Should
should have.
Yeah.
Best college athlete went to Fernando Mendoza, who
Yeah.
was in the crowd
Should
last
have.
night. The Jimmy V Award for Perseverance went to Jim Abbott.
Oh, yeah. One on.
Any thoughts on best play?
Ooh, best play.
Touchdown from Indiana.
Oh, was it Mendoza's
No,
run?
basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Best play. No, not sure.
Tip. The OG Anunoby
Oh,
tip.
gosh, of course. That's it.
Which one?
OG tipped it in with no time.
Oh,
Came
okay,
in from
okay.
Yeah.
the made a great tip with like a
Best
half a second.
record-breaking performance. Best record-breaking performance, Myles Garrett
Oh yeah, big year
for
sack.
the
Yeah.
sack record.
Now he gets to go to got a new contract and gets to go to the best team in football. Not a bad combo.
Any idea best male athlete?
Joe Rose.
Who was it? I don't know.
Jalen Brunson.
I was going to say it had to be Jalen Brunson,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
Jalen
he was
Brunson. And
close.
best team was the
How-
New York Knicks.
How long is Jalen Brunson going to be the king of New York until he
Oh.
dies? Right?
Look at Walt Frazier.
Yeah.
Look how they treat Walt.
Yeah.
He's getting that treatment
Yeah.
now. He walks around, man. Bagels are free up there.
he was in the 90s. He was the king of the New York sideline, and
Yeah.
now he still is.
He
all
still
these
is.
years.
He's
amazing.
still right.
50 years
Yeah,
after
yeah.
what 1970. So Jalen Brunson put 50 years
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. Who didn't like Walt Frazier?
All right, I got one more thing for you guys here that I'd like to see if you can address. Maybe help me out with this because I don't really understand it. This whole daylight savings time situation. Now they're trying to make this like permanent here.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this? Like the vote already like passed through. This would mean that the sun would come up at like 9 a.m. in some parts of the country.
What would it be?
So
What
they're
would it be
saying this
here?
would like affect in Florida. It would be a little bit past 8 o'clock.
Well, I
the
just
sun
want.
would come
I
up
would
around
just like to stay.
8:10.
I would like it to be light later, right?
Yes, I
I
would
would
too.
That's
prefer
how
to be
everybody wants,
lightly,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So daylight savings time was all about farmers. You know that's what it is. It was all about farmers, so they could get, the growing time. They could get, be able to harvest the crops more, late in the evening, and so it's kind of it's really kind of obsolete. So, and I hate.
Doesn't affect these hours. Woody.
How's it affect
Well, now that I
opening
got
pitch?
now that I got the phones that they automatically change, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, right. You have to change anything. You're
Yeah.
exactly right.
Well, this was a big deal here. A lot of people were talking. It was a trending topic on Twitter here. People were very upset. They said they don't want kids going to school in the dark. They said there's more accidents because people drive poorly in the dark. Although people,
Yeah, but you can play golf. You can play golf till 9 o'clock at night.
Hey, the other thing, people back here, in case you haven't noticed, they drive crappy no matter what time
Yeah.
it is. Damn, I got to tell you, there's a group of men cut you off now.
Oh yeah,
I've
that's
noticed.
become a thing. Yeah.
That thing of cutting guys off and cutting in between
And that's Waymo. Wait till they
Ooh, Waymo.
is that going to improve driving in South Florida?
I don't know.
Or
I see those little. In Fort Lauderdale, I see they got those little robots that are delivering
I
meals
am
all
too.
over the
I
place.
see them everywhere
All over
now.
the place now.
Those things are cool.
I don't get it.
Waymo will be
will they
fun
get
until,
Waymo
until someone's crossing through a crosswalk and gets slammed by one of those Waymos because it didn't see them.
Yeah.
Then it'll be all fun until
You see, there was a story last week were like some kids got in and were all drunked up inside a Waymo, and they were shooting like
BBs.
BBs.
No, and Waymo stopped,
Yeah.
locked them in, and called the police.
Did he? Did
Yes,
that what happened?
yeah,
Is that right?
That's what happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
get
no,
that
I
far.
thought that's
you
the
didn't-
finish.
well,
that's the end of that story.
I
yeah.
only read the first paragraph of the story.
Hey,
You oughta
I
read
like
to
the
the
end of
end.
that story. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we got a little something extra in this card, dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, people, we didn't think about that. Did somebody try to do that? We can't get out.
So those driverless cars, you got to be aware of them too.
Yeah.
Calls the police on you, pulls the car over, and you're stuck. You can't get out. All right. Hey, Woody, thank you, man. And thanks for
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna have some stuff coming up later for you guys. By the way, Capital One Orange Bowl Media Tour presented by Duffy's Sports Grill. We're live up here at the ACC kickoff in Charlotte, so we'll have some stuff coming up next hour for you guys.
All right, Woody. And we've got the 8 o'clock hour. Wes Durham's going to join us, Atlanta Falcons play-by-play. Now they have Tua Tagovailoa. He'll be covering him.
You
And
better cover up the microphone when he gets on it.
He doesn't want to hear what we have to say about that.
Bo, I'm sitting right next to these guys from Atlanta over here, and they're really excited about it.
About Tua?
they weren't that
they're
excited
pumping their fists
yesterday.
right now. They're very
They weren't
excited
that
about Tua.
excited yesterday.
Look forward to every one of his press conferences. That'll be nice.
How long? How long?
Get something
before it happens.
get something to pull his foot out of his mouth.
How
Joe
long?
didn't even remember. I was talking to him yesterday. It happened at his introductory press conference. He said something stupid. He said, I'm a part-time football player.
Yeah.
You know he's coming out with this year.
Yeah.
Show me the Dolphins' money. Show me the Dolphins' money. Man, that's bad. That's bad, too. Don't do that, man. Atlanta's going to be cheering like, we ain't paying. Go get him, kid. Go get him, man. Hey, it's hurricane season. You know the deal right now. Boy, Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing would love to be there and help you out. Whether you need impact windows, maybe in windows and doors, maybe you need a new roof. Maybe you just want the roof that you have right now just to get it fixed to get through another hurricane season. Well, Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing do it all. The windows Hurricane Category 5 rated. Loctite Impact provides 100% financing with zero down, no interest, no payments for a year. You got that old leaky roof, replace your old roof now, and you can pay later. The best part about talking about Impact Windows, they're as low as $6 per month per window installed by Loctite. Don't wait for the next storm, man. You can get the deal of a lifetime right now, anywhere in South Florida, and protect that home, because that's the only thing you can really control is protecting your home with the best products. They cover Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. Loctite Impact is a name you need to remember when you're picking up that phone, ready to do it. 954-500-LOCK. They got a great staff ready to answer all your questions. Go to LoctiteImpact.com.
Speeding catches up.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Doral Volkswagen, home of the price seat to our lowest price. Visit us, Doral Volkswagen or DoralVW.com. England blew a 1-0 lead, losing to Argentina. France and England will play a third-place game in South Florida Saturday at 5, while at 3 o'clock on Sunday in New Jersey, it is Argentina and Spain for the championship. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bobby Portis Jr. will be formally introduced by the Heat today, and the Panthers will open the NHL season at defending champs, the Carolina Hurricanes, September 29th at 5 o'clock. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures around 90 degrees with overcast skies and rain throughout the weekend. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
All right, welcome back here for the 8 o'clock hour. Kim Bocamper in with us. Dave Hyde's in with us. Jamie's in the back doing our social media stuff that I know absolutely nothing about. All day, Dan Day, and Woody's up in North Carolina. We are loaded down today, and we got a lot of different stuff to get to, including the World Cup finals, the set, Spain, and another unbelievable comeback in the last few minutes by Argentina and Messi. The Messi magic, and it wasn't scoring goals, but makes two great passes. England, I'm guessing, is getting blasted today by their media for changing their style. Went into the, I don't know how else to say it, prevent defense at the end there.
So they came out. They were kind of dominating early.
They did,
right? Just then they score the goal, and then it's just, then you go into that prevent defense, and
they started firing shots at them right and left.
And England brought in 3 defensive players, and it was like, but they had won that way the previes 2 games, so.
Yeah, but
you're stepping up in class against Argentina in the semifinals.
But you look back at Messi, how many times did they come back and win late?
I was just looking at Cape Verde 111th minute they won. Egypt 92nd, Switzerland 112th, England the 92nd.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So, and some of them were multiple goals. They had to get,
Egypt with the 2 goals in the last 11 minutes.
They do it a couple games.
And then they did it again for England.
He is. Again, I say this to enter Miami. I know we had a little problem here with a few of the fans and Messi. Look at, man, he is the greatest to ever play this frigging game. What he's doing at 39, it's kind of like we talk about Tom Brady, what he did by going, all right, Belichick, I'm going to leave and go win another one and show you I can put up some big numbers.
Look, he scores no goals in that game, but his impact in that game, in the final goal, he put that ball. Put that ball. I mean, when you see it, when you first saw it, and then when they show it again and where the goalie's at and where this guy
he dropped it between 2 defenders to get it to his guy.
And the guy, just
the interesting part is he read the game and that you talked to and reading about it, what quotes from him. He was in the middle of the field and he was just getting he had no room because England said, no, you're not. We're not going to let you score.
Right.
So after England scored, he moved out to the edges of the field and said, okay, you're not going to let me score. I'll make the pass and someone's going to score.
You could tell watching that game. I was watching him because he's kind of probing. He's in the middle, and then he goes to that one side, and then he goes to the other side, and trying to find that space, where and it pays off. But boy, what a tournament, man! What a boon for soccer in America.
What's your favorite story from? Like, some of the favorite stories to me are the fan. I love seeing the different countries' personalities.
Yeah, that guy's a big.
Erling Haaland he can move down here and live here because he loved the people and they loved him. That big smile.
Well, so you had the Scottish.
Yeah, that was a great
the
show.
Tartan Army.
So we had at our place when they played here, they had 800 people came in the morning, like 10 o'clock. 800 people in our place. They had buses lined up.
Which one, Bo? Which
the one in the Intercoastal, the big.
Did they empty it of beer?
No. We were prepared. We heard all about Boston. We heard all about Boston. Coming. We stacked up. So there was 800, and then the ones that had tickets all went to the game, and then they came back and there was 800 more. They came back and there was another 800.
Did they drink like everybody said? They get after.
Our food, the ratio of food to alcohol was probably 10-1, 10 beers to one
to one wing.
One wing, exactly.
So you had that. You had the Norwegians rowing, which was
I love that. That's my favorite.
So you get in that last game. They're doing the stadium. the whole stadium was doing it in unison.
Then you had Cape Verde with 500,000, the size of Hialeah.
Yeah,
taking on and almost beating Argentina.
You know, the only thing I never heard about Cape Verde is that's where all the hurricanes get started, right?
I didn't even know that till
I didn't know that either. That's funny. Yeah, we learned about that one.
So it's fun. So I had a friend of mine that his son was in Seattle, and he called me. He said, "Hey, Dad, I got 2 tickets for the USA game in Seattle." So he went out there for the game, and I said, "Hey, that's gonna be great because that stadium's a great stadium, and it's gonna be a loud stadium." And so he comes back. He goes, "It was great, but the United States, they're trying to do a thing. They're trying to do one of those, and he goes, look like a bunch of spasms,
we got to get our cheering down a little better, right?
Uncoordinated,
So what surprised me about last night and I love, by the way, Fox did a great job with some of the pieces they did on the players were fantastic. Argentina was about 80% of the crowd last night at that game. I was
like
shocked.
Little Buenos Aires. I was shocked too. Because where's England?
He goes, looks like 70. He goes, looks like 80-20. It's heavy.
So I was in Las Olas,
Argentina.
I was on Las Olas, and there's an Argentinian restaurant there, and it was the Egypt game where they scored the 2 late goals, and so. We're there and they're sour, man. They're down 2 and they only got 5 minutes, whatever. And then I was inside and we were watching TV, but there was a delay, right? We had a delay for our side, and all of a sudden we hear an uproar and go, they must have scored a goal. And so I go out in the street and I look, there are people in the middle of Los Angeles on their hands and knees. Go, arms up to God, I mean, it's the passion.
Oh yeah,
for that game. When you see these countries,
well, that's all they have. That's all they got. For sports wise,
been embedded in soccer so long.
Number one,
the passion for it is just incredible. It's incredible.
Well, Argentina story, and then the political side of it last night too, which goes back to history that's not so good for those two.
Yeah,
and apparently a lot of people didn't forget about it last night with that. Players are
the Falkland Wars, and
they're knocking down. It got a little kicking.
It got tough.
They went at it with tackling each other and the whole So anyway, that was a lot of fun.
So now what do we do since the wind is going?
Well, I'll tell you what we do. We start getting ready and we start looking ahead to football. We wait for the Marlins to come back. You got, by the way, you should be excited. British Open.
Yeah.
What about today? Giannis is being introduced.
Joe's living it's the Open Championship, Joe. It's not the British Open anymore. It's the Open Championship. Yeah. Hasn't been that way for about 15 years.
Open Championship. We got the Open Championship.
As opposed to the U.S. Open?
Yeah.
Yes. The Open Champ. Thank you, Bo.
It's the British Open.
It's always the British Open to me.
But we got Giannis coming to today. Giannis is going to be introduced. I'm going to write a column on Substack, my new
nice,
site.
There you go.
I'll be writing.
So how do you get to your column on
Bobby
Substack?
Portis?
Bobby Portis.
Go ahead. We get pump. Bo's asking you to pump your thing up. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's a great site. Just very simple. Put columns out there, right to readers now. And
so how does somebody find it?
So either Google Substack.com and my name, or there's an app, Substack.
Oh, okay.
And
so Substack's an app.
Yeah, it's a site. There's a lot of Dave Barry's on it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people you've heard of are actually writing stuff on there, and some of it's free, some of it's paid.
Yeah.
But
what is yours right now?
Right now it's free.
Okay.
How many you doing if you want?
How many you doing? You want throwing a couple of dollars? They would appreciate it. But what do you write?
I'm still writing the same four a week, pretty much. As
are you really
I'm trying to stay on the same idea?
Yeah.
Now it's a little different concept, but like today, I'll watch Giannis. I'm curious how he's going to come in.
Yeah.
Remember when Shaq came? He came around in the big diesel truck.
I do remember that.
When Jimmy Butler came, there was like an anger to him about being let go by Philadelphia, and this is a team I wanted to be at. When
for just a few years,
So when Zoe came, it was like the start of the Riley.
That's right.
Era. So all these the big three, of course, was.
By the way, this is a big one, man. I hope people. I know we're talking about LeBron and what he might do, and what we're calling the last decision from LeBron. But Giannis is a big deal, man.
Yeah.
2-time MVP, won a championship in Milwaukee.
He
By
was
the way, not only won it,
so it
big
automatically
numbers.
makes the Heat relevant again.
Yes.
yes.
Right.
Well, the last 7 until last year when he was hurt a lot of the year, the previous 7 years he finished in the top 4 voting of MVP, and he won it twice.
Yeah.
So that tells you they're getting a top 5 player in the league.
Bo, I got to ask you because we've been beating this up. As of course, you think LeBron comes here?
I don't think so.
Where do you think?
I don't know where, but
you got to give me some. You got to give me a place. Everybody thinks Golden State's the place now. Our home.
Yeah, it could be.
Home.
Look, I would like to see him come back here. I mean, it certainly would boost the notoriety of the team and their chances to win.
It'd be a lot better.
I'm amazed at LeBron. I mean, he's I really liked him when he was here because he was working hard. I mean, I remember every game he played hard, and then he kind of got, he's been in the league for what, 25 years, whatever it is.
A long time.
And so he's kind of kept a low, but I still think he plays hard when he plays. When he
he's a pro, on and off. To me, I appreciate in the media he talked every day.
Yeah.
You talk about guys only talk once a week or not even that, but he talked after every practice. He'd talk and give you his thoughts, and then he. And he came in not as a complete player, which was kind of interesting. Remember the first finals. He
a big fourth quarter
he
shooter.
Couldn't. He had no inside game.
Yeah,
and that offseason developed it.
Well, but we were able to see him. I think for a few seasons where he's had deficiencies, but during that offseason he worked on them and he check that one off.
Yeah.
Then the next year, he can't play inside. Okay, check that one.
Much better 3-point shooter through his career. He got a lot better.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you something, man. He can still. If you could get him and play 65 games, if he could play 65
games. The Heat
games,
really need somebody like him who can, at the end of the game, handle the ball and be the play. They don't have a player like that. They have some great players, but Giannis isn't that guy.
Yeah.
And Bam obviously isn't. And they need somebody like that. If it's not LeBron, then DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, you got Giannis, Bam, and LeBron. That's a pretty good.
It's great.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but this would be a fun day if LeBron closed it out tonight and said, "I'm going to
podcast." Right?
Got his first podcast today. Fanatics up in New York and Giannis down here. It'd be a hell of a day for Heat fans right there. But they think Golden State. I got to tell you, nobody's working harder. Draymond's been hanging out with them. Steph Curry's
got no chance to win in Golden State, though. So the question is, what's his motivation here?
When you say that, what do you mean?
They have no chance. They're not going to beat Oklahoma's. They're not. They have to win series back to back.
No, I agree. But they're going
to
win games. They're
going to win games. Right? Yeah. But they're not going to be in contention. Here, he has a chance.
They're not going to be the Golden
contention.
State that you want to see, Joe.
No.
That.
Hey, would you want our last Splash brothers interested in getting traded here? How do you feel about that? Not Steph Curry, but his sidekick for all those years. Once out of Dallas,
he'd be a perfect
fit.
He's a defender and he shot 38% on
36
threes.
years old now, though.
He's playing a role. He's not starring. He'd be playing a role here.
Right. He'll be a youngster next to LeBron.
He'd feel good there. Hey, we got to go to break here. Pay a couple of bills and get some stuff done. We always talk about this. You can't do radio talk shows without talking about injuries. I know, and I've never met an athlete yet tries to get hurt. Now, it just happens. It's part of it where you're competitive, you're active. It's going to happen. It sure is nice to have a top sports medicine program right here in our backyard. Baptist Health, South Florida. Yeah, people ask me all the time, where do the pros go? And I go, enter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, the Miami Dolphins, FIU, FAU, high school, college, and professional athletes from here in South Florida, as well as all over the country, come here because it really is. They have put together a team of specialists for every part of the body: knee, shoulder, foot, and ankle, hand, back, hip and knee replacement, Achilles. I mean, top-notch doctors, man, for every part of the body. You can't be a top sports medicine program unless you have great doctors with you and great facilities, and they have both. Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium next to the training facility, the Miami Dolphins, and 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho. One goal every day, just one goal about getting you healthy back out playing the sports you love the most. us all day, Dan Day, always with us. Jamie's in the house, and Woody's up. The ACC meeting.
Did Jamie come right from the nightclubs last night to come in and do the show?
He's been working on one girl. Not that I want to put his business out there,
Yeah.
but he's had some repeat dates,
Oh,
so it's
there
a
you
good
go.
sign.
There you go. How's the
He was
crop
pretty
out there?
pissed off
How's the
yesterday.
crop out there, Jamie?
He's taking it nice and slow.
I think he had a sympathy call last night. When
Did she
England
hear?
lost.
Did she hear about any of this stuff? No.
I don't think so, but she took last night's loss pretty hard.
Oh,
I hope you
forgot.
consoled her.
Yeah,
Jamie.
She's from England.
She
you're
was in
right.
rough shape.
Oh,
last
she was an
night.
English girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, English girl, British
Oh.
girl. Yeah,
Oh. Did you serve her tea and crumpets when she woke up?
I should have. I mean, after yesterday, she needs some home cooking or
So
something.
she did slay with you overnight then. You did serve her night with her?
Is that what you're saying? She's with you overnight?
I
Not
like
that we're
kiss
trying to
and
get
tell
your
now,
business.
Joe. Come on.
No, that's Bo.
That's-
Bo's the
that's
one who
part of
wants
the
to get
show.
that stuff. That's not me.
We
I
know-
don't.
we
do
I'm
it.
living vicarious through you.
We know it'll get serious when he quits talking about it.
Yeah, that's true, honestly.
Yeah. You're all right, man. Just this swiping thing. He's relentless, Bo. How would you have done, Bo, in the old days if you and I were single on with today's world?
Oh no.
You're kind of old school. You like seeing him in person.
Yeah. You know, I would. You know what? It's unless it's a full body shot. You know, because sometimes you get.
I want to see.
You get
it
a
in
girl and you
person.
look and you got a really cute face, and then I'm assuming because I've never been on that, but you open the door and all of a sudden you got 2 tons walking in, and that's not a good thing.
No, that's Omar's big thing. Omar said the biggest problem is that the girls were. I lived through Omar, who's been a swipe.
I lived
king.
through Jamie just because he's like
Jamie. Have you found that to be the situation? Sometimes
it
girls
does happen.
Jamie's Omar live.
Girls are a little heavier than their picture
It
is
does
showing.
happen. They always put the best pictures
Yeah,
out on
yeah.
the account, and maybe some pictures from 4 or 5 years ago.
So did you ever like get a date with them and a girl came and you thought she looked really nice, and then when she saw her you go, oh my God, but you still had to stay through that date? Did you do that, or just like
I
walk
have
away?
had one of those. You can't walk away once you're there.
you get the phone
you get the
call.
phone
mid-
call,
you
yeah.
set it up, right?
You know, I didn't have that set up, but
I think what you did, if you're telling the
Taking
truth,
notes
you
here.
tried to get her liquored up and just said, "I'm going to get drunk, you get drunk, and let's just."
No,
Well, you
Joe's
said-
talking
Let's
about his
get after
cow
it.
Might as
days
well
now.
seal the deal, man.
no, that'd be you. You would just let's do it anyways. You know, I'm here anyway.
I know this is going to come out wrong, but I don't mind telling you at Berkeley, I had a huge gap and I had the one big eyebrow and I wasn't very attractive, and I did go after some big girls. I did.
You didn't get any points for being on the football team.
No.
No.
Wasn't playing a
I
lot
think
early.
Joe's
and
underselling because I'm with you. I've always come on.
I'm telling you.
6'4".
Well, I didn't have a lot of
football.
confidence.
Yeah, but
There
Bert-
wasn't a lot of self-confidence. I came into college as a virgin. So that,
And Berkeley's a different place.
Yeah.
The jock.
by the way,
isn't
not a
as-
place to be a virgin when you're going to
No.
Berkeley. Not,
Well,
you know,
but back in
there.
that day, you had girls that had underarm hair.
And that's
right?
the first time I
They're
had
wearing
ever
those-
slept with a
wearing
girl
those
with hair
gauze-
under their
wearing
arms.
those gauze dresses and stuff.
No, it was a different time.
What's it? Patchouli oil they have on them.
I don't know what that smelled,
I
but
don't
it's
know what
funny
that
you
smell
said
was,
that.
but-
Yeah, they did. They all had that.
Especially in Berkeley, man.
So yeah, it was not till later on towards the end, but yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I
How'd you get
wasn't
into
real
that,
good.
Joe? How'd you get into that conversation?
Mike White got us into 2%. Oh, it got into school there, or oh no,
No,
I don't know
no.
how we got, but I always wonder though if both you and I are, and it would be. I like the old school way of doing it though.
Yeah.
We used to go out
Yeah.
and meet people.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Thursday night was big night. Thursday was a big
night's
night
big.
out in
Thursday
college.
night was big. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a lot easier. You go through 100 women.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they got like
Jamie.
you too.
You swipe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jamie,
okay.
you get a lot back because Omar gets a ton back. Omar puts his stuff out and he'll come in here. He's got, and I'm paying him a compliment. He'll have 20 or 30 women. Like, I'm interested. Hey, you
Yeah.
know, give me a call.
I do pretty
Are
well.
you getting that?
Yeah, I get some good numbers on there.
See that? It's
Yeah.
confidence. That's beautiful.
Jamie can be shot down many times, but it doesn't affect him at all. It's
No.
amazing.
He has been knocked down. He's had a
Yeah.
couple.
Instant amnesia. Just got to keep playing.
You are beautiful. You see, I tell you what, you can bait him, Bo. He fit right in with the boys, man. He's he could take it all.
See, all day Dan Day's doing the same thing. He's just staying quiet on that side of the room, though.
Nothing to talk about, you know. Man.
All day.
He works all day. I mean,
No.
all day,
All night.
all day, all night.
He can go.
I did meet somebody in person the other day, and
she worked in another studio here and there.
The cleaning lady, she's very nice. You know, she's got a great attitude.
You went Costanza on us,
but Bo, she was really pretty in the face. But you were right. And everybody saw pictures of her online. Was like, wow. I was like, that was the girl hitting on you, and I was like, yeah, she's not all that. And then we got deeper into some of her pictures, and they were like, oh no, never mind.
Yeah,
this is terrible.
Yeah.
Next thing you're gonna say is you told her maybe she should grab a couple salads or something. That's just wrong. That's just wrong to do. Hey, so anyway, we got kind of a big day. Maybe we have Giannis talking. The introduction today, press conference, and take place at 3:00. Bobby Portis is going to be here at 12:30, so Bobby can have his own time too. And then I guess we're all sitting back. And boy, I'll tell you what. And I know the Heat want him because everybody nationally has said the Heat want LeBron, but they have not had one word leak out from UD, from D Wade, and they worked on everybody and nobody. And then you've got Golden State, the whole organization said, "Oh, we're trying to get him." Oh, hell yeah,
but LeBron's paying attention because as I mentioned a couple hours ago, somebody put a video out of a talk show where the host, and I've never heard of him. Maybe he's big. I hadn't heard of him. He said, "Oh, even if the Heat get LeBron, they're a play-in team." And LeBron responded to it with 3 emojis, the laughing emojis. Like, so he's paying attention to this stuff.
What do you think the relationship between LeBron and Pat Riley
It's great.
is?
It's fine.
It is.
Yeah.
They've asked us.
So it's a positive.
I talked to Pat about it last October.
Yeah.
I was doing a column on Eric Spoelstra, actually, and somehow it came up. You know, during the Olympics, Eric Spoelstra was shagging shots for LeBron, and I just said, "Oh, I heard that," and he goes, "Yeah, why wouldn't he? I mean, that stuff's long ago."
Yeah,
and so
you think Spoelstra's relationship with him?
That's good.
Again, he was shagging shots during the Olympics.
That bump you're talking about, Bo's going back to the bump.
Oh, well, they won 2 titles after that bump. So
but
I think they're and he likes Giannis, he likes Bam. So if he doesn't come here, it's not for any of that stuff. That you know, the first year struggles or how he left. I think look, his jersey was going up in the rafters whether he comes back here or not.
Correct.
And look, I think even the city of Miami South Beach, and that is even more popular now than it was back then. I mean, internationally, right?
Will it be to him though? He's 41 or 42 now.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it brings him more. Look, it's going to be more international than being in San Antonio or something. You know what I mean?
Well, and it'd be a lot warmer than being in Philadelphia.
Right, exactly.
He's all set up with all this stuff.
I get that.
The production companies are set
up. The other
up.
thing now he's hooked on golf. And you know, and it's not a bad place to be down here.
But there's golf course. I started thinking about that.
They're all anywhere.
Everybody's got a great golf course. You have them in better shape longer down here. We don't have to deal with
There's
snow.
4 months you can't play up north.
That's true.
And he can go out after practice.
I think we have a chance, but man, Golden State, Cleveland, Miami.
I think it's Cleveland or Miami.
76ers. Do you have any shot? 76ers?
No.
Yeah, no,
that's a good looking team though.
There's no
way.
There's no connection to him to that team, that city, that team. It doesn't fit his.
You don't hear about LeBron
career.
hanging out in the Philly area. That's good. That's true.
It doesn't seem like a Bay Area guy to me either. You know?
He doesn't.
It just does. I mean, it just, you know.
We're gonna find out how much.
The one that he can't talk around is if he wants to go home and finish his career at home.
Yeah.
There's no.
Well, he's got a big pad there. Yeah,
you can't. You know, you can't fault him for that, right?
No, that'd be understandable. That'd be sort of.
But why is it such? I mean, listen to everybody getting on. Well, if you go there, you're just chasing a ring. Well, he wants to get a ring no matter where he goes. But people are getting on him this time around. He's 41 years old. Like, aren't we past that? We went through that 16 years ago.
He gets to do whatever he wants.
Isn't every NBA player chasing a ring? No matter where they're at, right?
The good ones are.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to win.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't want him to go. That's why I don't think Golden State. There's a roadblock there.
Yeah.
That team is not going to beat Oklahoma City and San Antonio in back-to-back series, which is what they'd have to do.
It would be interesting. He goes there, and Jimmy Butler coming back second half of the season, right? He's due back next year sometime.
You think that's enough for there? Think that's enough to get them over the top?
No, I think they're too old.
Yeah.
As someone said, it'd be Golden State on Golden Pond.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it'd be
old.
such an old team.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as a secondary team to still kind of root for a little bit, you know, Golden State. Take me back to Nate Thurman and Rick Barry and stuff, you know. Al Addles knocking the guys down.
Wolfman, Al Addles.
Jeff Mullins.
Yeah.
Rick Barry.
Well, Rick Barry's.
Nate Thurman.
You know what's crazy? Outside of Steph Curry, Rick Barry's the second greatest player to ever play in that organization. It's not even close.
Yeah.
People don't like Rick Barry.
Well, Rick Barry wasn't an easy guy to like.
A lot of ego there.
He had a strong personality.
Yeah.
Big UM guy.
He was one of those guys
He
that
married the coach's daughter.
He kind of burned every bridge that he left behind was
Boy, he
scorched.
Was that underhand.
Oh my God!
When I was looking for a column though, and he was in the mix. I'm going to call up Rick Barry because he'll have something to say on this, and he always did.
No. Yeah. He's ready to go.
He was great on the broadcast. When he was doing the broadcast, he was great.
He truly lacks awareness of what people think around him because he was shocked. I saw his comments when he found out a lot of his teammates at Golden State didn't like him. And he goes, well, I had no idea. And I was like, I don't know about you, but I know when guys like me and they don't, it's pretty clear. All right, Atlantic Men's Clinic, I got to tell you, ED and low T is nothing to mess with. We talk about it a lot, man. Me and the old guys get together, and I go, hey, man, you want to be better when you get older, huh? You want to be better when you're still younger, huh? You're going through it right now, less energy. Your drive's not there, not feeling like yourself. Well, you deserve to feel a lot better. And if you want to get more great results in the gym and start feeling better and being more active and getting that sex drive back, whether it's low T or ED, it's going to happen to every guy out there. Doesn't matter who you are. Nobody beats Father Time with ED and low T. The problem is a lot of guys are getting it at a younger and younger age. And if you're going through it right now, you don't need to tell me. I get it. Everybody's embarrassed to have it. I had it. I had full blown. I was beating my wife to bed. It was so bad to fall asleep so she wouldn't try to roll me over and see if I was interested in a little loving. I got to tell you, Atlantic Men's Clinic works. ED and low T is gone. 2.5 years ago, I joined Atlantic Men's Clinic, started getting those treatments, and the first thing you have to do is go in and get that first test. Get the PSA test. Meet with that professional staff to give your results, and you decide if you want to go on the program. I'm guessing if you're going down there to set it up, you're interested. People ask me, number one question, how long before it kicks in? I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the ED. Well, if you want your energy level and your sex drive back full-blown like it used to be, that's what's going to happen at Atlantic Men's Clinic. You're in for great results. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. Brand new location in Hollywood. I go to Plantation. Matter of fact, going to stop by today. 877-455-7300 or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Atlantic Men's Clinic works.
WQ
All right, welcome back and a good morning to everybody, and thanks for being with us. A lot of stuff going on. Who says this is a dead time with football still a couple of weeks away for the University of Miami? And, of course, the Miami Dolphins getting ready to open up at the end of July. Rookies come in.
Yeah, when they come in, the
21st. Sound right?
The first practice, like the 28th, I think.
Yeah,
and then full squad 28th. Yes, to have the whole gang in there. And meanwhile, we got World Cup. I am kind of curious, besides Spain playing Argentina, who's coming to watch England play against France?
And they're playing at
Hard Rock Stadium,
right?
Yeah,
we got them
Saturday.
Saturday.
I looked. I was curious.
Miami Stadium.
I looked up tickets, $2,500 to that game. Now I don't
Really,
know.
for that
I
game?
should look it up right
How
now.
much?
It would say $2,500.
I saw
consolation.
I saw a little blurb in the paper after Portugal and the U.S. lost, and they said ticket prices just plummeted.
Really?
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe they have plummeted then. In the
Hey, I got to tell you, if those guys are all going to play, the star players are going to play.
If they're going to play and want to win,
then it's fun.
Then it's fun. Yeah.
Mbappe,
Yeah.
the guys you saw
Yeah.
last night
Yeah.
from that'd be a great one. And hey, listen, still great soccer. The fact that they're going to come down,
You know what?
play their best players.
No matter what team, whether it was like Cape Verde or the Congo, wherever whatever these, I'm sitting there watching those games, and the thing that made it really interesting to me is these are the best players in the world. I mean, everyone in this field are the best players in the world.
You see the club teams they're all from.
Not in the country.
Yeah.
Because like you have a bunch of teams like guy playing for Argentina plays at Chelsea. And they're playing in
they're all playing
English
on
league
big
and
teams. La Liga,
yeah,
Premier.
yeah.
$891 is the low price now for the
$891.
consolation game. That's still a healthy price.
It is for a consolation game.
You're still again going to see the best players, and France got some of the best players in the world, and you're going to see England, who's also got 3 or 4 of the best players.
Maybe I'm curious I don't know how will they approach this game. Is it important to them?
I don't
Were you
know.
saying like Mbappe goes, I don't want to play in this game?
I mean, look, when we were playing for the World Cup final, that's one thing. But
I don't know. But I tell you what, those guys, it's been these stadiums that they've played in have showed up really well on TV. You know what I mean?
Well, the best one was the Mexican stadium. With
the Azteca Stadium,
the mountain.
With the mountain.
There.
Tight
I
roads
want to go
get
watch
there.
a game there.
Yeah,
I'd like to watch it. Guadalajara, I think it was.
Yeah.
I just think to everything, and people go, oh, my cousin back in California is probably listening right now, hates soccer.
Yeah.
He goes, dude, you're going to tell me what? Somebody had a 1-0 game. He goes, that was it. You're going to tell me that was exciting, bro? Seriously? You're trying to sell that? And he's listening.
Well, that used to be me. That one game, and what I've learned, it's like I've learned this from soccer and hockey. You get, because they're not scoring 10 goals in hockey. You read 2-1 games, 3-1 games, whatever. But there's a uniqueness to when it's 0-0, 0-1, and there's 10 minutes to go. The tension rises pretty.
Guys get after it. Yeah,
even watching it,
pull the goalie to trying
like
to get
everything.
power.
Every little thing they do is exaggerated in that moment.
But I think we've grown up, and I know maybe it's just me. Remember the World Cup was here in 92, 94, and till now as a country that at least appreciates soccer, just from the number of people who played and watched, and how the Premier League and La Liga are now, you can watch them. You can see them all the time. So soccer's really developed as a.
You know what? In the book, the Messi book, they talk about the Premier League being on TV in this country.
Yeah,
has really helped.
It has.
Too.
I watch it.
I watch
play
it
good teams. All playing Saturday or Sunday morning.
And there was one of the other broadcasters said, what a deal for the United States having it playing, Canada and Mexico, but the United States, where where was it at 4 years ago?
I don't know who had it.
But the time difference.
4 years ago,
Saudi Arabia.
From watching it on TV in the United States, you could watch every game because they were all within our time frame, right? And so everyone's watching all these games. And back then, if you don't want to stay up till 3 o'clock to watch a game, those with the time difference. And so I agree with the guy said, there's going to be a major boom in the United States after this. After this,
maybe.
Yeah,
but
I said that before.
The Bundesliga just signed
two NFL players. Two of the NFL players' sons are playing big time soccer now, and so I've always said, to me, when I look at soccer from a standpoint of players, they'd all be defensive backs and wide receivers that are playing football, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to have any, linebackers or defensive linemen playing. But if the United States had all their defensive backs and wide receivers growing up that are playing soccer, we'd be at the same level.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
No, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I agree.
But there are some because you got the mothers that are concerned about the concussion stuff.
That's
and
true.
All that type of thing.
There is going to be some, and you use Freeman, Antonio Freeman's son, as an example, Coral Springs, and how good he's been, and went over and is playing overseas now at a young age. But I just don't know if they'll. I asked that question yesterday, and he goes, it's a great question. I don't know. He said the MLS got to grow up. They got to spend money.
Yeah.
You can't just have one team spending money and the rest of them are sitting back going, no.
Well, there's the question in 10 years, where is MLS? You know, or
what's the payroll going to be?
Yes. But so Bundesliga just signed a 5-year, $100 million contract with, I think, USA Network.
Yeah.
So
you'll be seeing
I mean,
them.
they were on, I think, one of the ESPNs recently.
You know what the problem with soccer outside of the United States, and it's probably the same way in the United States. When you look at the Bundesliga, La Liga, you look at the Premier League, you look at some of those leagues, there's maybe only 4 teams that can win. The other ones, you've got the guy,
they got the baseball thing going,
yes,
where
yes.
there's 5 teams, probably
5 or 6 teams that have a chance to win it.
That have the money, and the rest of them are playing
That's
for. If they have a great year, they could crack the top 4.
So is it that that Ryan Reynolds and those guys that brought that team, Wrexham?
Yeah.
So Wrexham was a down and out team. Now they're knocking on the door of the Premier League. Why? Because they put money, they invested in it.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of a fun show.
And they got a TV show.
And they got a TV show. So, but I mean, it's all about money. And so, ergo the MLS, when the Moss brothers get some of these other teams that are willing to, or if you can't afford it, get the hell out and get somebody in.
Well, they got better owners. They got more billionaires that have joined the league. But you're right.
Look, you got there are maybe 3 or 4 U.S. sports teams, NFL, maybe NFL that are on Premier League teams, right?
Right.
So, the guy from Jacksonville,
John
Henry with the Fenway Group.
Sam Kroenke,
Tampa Bay owns both.
Family they bought Manchester United a long time ago.
Long
the Glazers.
time ago.
The Glazers,
which, by the way, they're not big fans of
I
them
think they were
over there. They have been good since they bought them.
No. But
Americans
they were the first one in, though. So
hey, let's roll to a quick break here. When we come back, we got to get back to a little football, as Wes Durham's going to join us, Atlanta Falcons play-by-play and also play-by-play for ESPN ACC games. He'll join us in just a few minutes. Right now, though, I want to talk to you about Mike Okatsi at Choice Mortgage. You need cash to pay off taxes, liens, judgments, IRS, high interest rate, second mortgages, credit card debt. You need to call Mike Okatsi or text him at Choice Mortgage, 561-441-2730. If you own a commercial or residential property with equity, call Michael right now. He can help you. He's been helping Floridians for over 30 years. It's about great service and getting you approved quickly so you can get that money. Looking to buy a home today? You can get pre-approved with little money down. Now is the time to lock in before interest rates might be going even higher. Call a cell phone 24/7. You can always get a hold of him. The man works on the weekends, 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. Nobody does it better and works harder than Michael Okatsi at Choice Mortgage. MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change. Daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
Miami, Fort Lauderdale. WQAM AM Miami, an Odyssey sports station. The home of champions. Home of the 5-time national champion Miami Hurricanes. The back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. The 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat. Miami Hurricanes basketball. And now, the new home of the 2-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Doral Volkswagen, home of the price seat to our lowest price. Visit us, Doral Volkswagen or DoralVW.com. England blew a 1-0 85th minute lead to Argentina as they scored 2 goals to win in extra time. France and England will play here in South Florida Saturday at 5. And first place game in New Jersey, Sunday, 3 o'clock, Argentina and Spain. Marlins have one more day off. They get back to action tomorrow in Milwaukee against the Brewers. That's going to be a 7:40 pitch. And the Panthers going to open the NHL season at defending champs Carolina Hurricanes September 29th at 5 o'clock. This weather report brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures in the low 90s with a very slight chance of rain. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
All right, welcome back here to Charlotte. It is the Capital One Orange Bowl Media Tour presented by Duffy Sports Grill at the ACC kickoff. And Joe, kind enough to join us here from the ACC Network and ESPN. Wes Durham is here. Joe, take it away.
All right. Love talking to Wes, the Atlanta Falcons play-by-play announcer. We see him every year, it seems like. Also play-by-play for ESPN on ACC games. And Wes leading the charge to try to get a bigger booth for us up there in the corner. He's going to have.
A second. Wait a second. Hey, let me tell you something. I love it so much, I'm not going to do the preseason game this year down there. How's that, Rose?
Oh, that's disappointing because everybody comes in, has tried to get that change. And I tell you guys all the same thing. If Bob Greasy complained and couldn't get it done, nobody's got a chance, man. They retired his number. Yeah, so
then you'll just stay number 32 in the league. That's it. That's not a problem.
Just get the key lime pie. That's what I tell you back there, Wes.
Yeah.
Hey,
how you guys doing? It's great to be on with you.
Wes, it's great having you, man. We appreciate it. Kim Bocamper and Dave Hyde with us this morning in here and talking about everything. And hey, we're kind of connected again. We'll start with the Atlanta Falcons and Tua and Penix going for quarterback. You're already laughing. Yeah, I know.
I'm going to
get to
the
32 seconds in.
I told Mike and Daniel, I said, Rose is not going to talk about the Canes. He wants to talk about Tua in Atlanta. Slinging it.
You guys are already placing bets. All right. I started to go.
Slinging it might not be the word. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
That's okay. Here's the story. He's done everything that you guys would expect Tua to do upon arrival in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's been the ultimate pro. He's been terrific with Stefanski and by all accounts with Tommy Reese, the offensive coordinator, okay? Here's the other thing, too. No offense to what he had in Miami. You guys tell me, is he going to get the best set of offensive skill players to play with that he's ever had?
Well,
he's got Bijan Robinson to hand the ball to and Drake London to throw it to, and Kyle Pitts has been re-signed. He's going to be there. And more than likely, they're probably going to pick somebody up to be the other receiver on the other side from Drake. Given the offensive line situation, you guys have had really good offensive lines. I don't know where that falls in comparison to Atlanta.
Yeah.
But from a skill position, is this going to be his best offensive package to play with?
I know my guys are going to say we have, we've got H.N. at running back who's coming off. Not quite the year your guy had, but and also on the outside we had Waddle and for most of that time had Tyreek Hill. And had some pretty good tight ends. But I got you. And working off, hey, listen, man, 34-10, and Tua played his you-know-what off against you guys up there. And maybe the biggest surprise of any game was last year seeing you after the game going, I can't believe we just won by 24 points. I mean, it was a shocker, right?
But he's come in and done all the right things. I have no idea where Michael Penix is. The Falcons are putting – Penix doing the soft jog at the OTAs and the mini camps and things like that. But he hadn't been hit yet. We don't know.
Yeah.
And I think Kevin Stefanski's going to hedge it, in my opinion.
I agree.
And you're going to see Tua. I don't know if you'll see him in the third preseason game, but I think he's going to play certainly in the preseason. I think Atlanta's got a lot of questions to answer. Quarterback just happens to be the one, fellas, that's at the top of the chart.
You know,
everybody wants to know if Michael can get healthy.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line.
But I agree at the pickup, and I was not surprised that he's had a good camp and his timing throws and those things. He'll be playing a lot of indoor facilities in your division as well, and I think all that stuff. And as you said, your head coach is a guy that's a offensive-minded guy like Mike, who did get a lot out of Tua most of the time in that situation. So let's roll it to the big horse up there right now, the Miami Hurricanes. So
Absolutely.
I tried to get Mario going in the morning. You're going to be the topic about the team to beat, and he went. He goes crazy. So are they clearly the best team in this conference?
Oh, yes, they are. But I'm gonna, and you know how I'll do this, Joe, because we've been doing this for too many years. There are two other teams that are in the neighborhood. They're not living in the same house Miami is.
Yeah.
But SMU and Louisville are fair contenders in this deal. Yeah. I mean, Rhett Lashley's done a remarkable work in Dallas. I mean, really good. I think Louisville, if things go well for them on that Sunday night in Nashville against Ole Miss, I think it's got a chance to be a hell of a year for Jeff Brom. But here's the good thing about the ACC. There are other brands that are going to be waiting. Those next three spots, so let's say the top 5 of the 17 in the ACC, there are probably 6 schools for 3 spots in that top 5 or those other 2 spots that would be in the top 5 behind Miami, SMU, and Louisville. I mean, I could tell you James Franklin might get off to a great start in Blacksburg. Georgia Tech certainly had their moments a year ago. I think NC State's going to be good again. Pitt could get off to a terrific start with Pat Narduzzi. I mean, so there's plenty of contenders. We just don't know behind those first 3 who've got the chance to be in the conversation when we get to mid-October and then certainly into November when this thing gets real.
Hey, Wes, let me ask you a question. And so I'm still trying to get used to these conglomerate conferences that have come together. And I see that hideous Cal banner over your shoulder there.
Bro,
which is,
shot at that.
But the thought of having, I think Miami opens with Stanford, which is a conference game.
That's a powerhouse, man. You can't take shots at that.
It's hard for me to get used to a team from the West Coast being in the Atlantic Coast Conference and making those trips back and forth.
We're glad to have Berkeley
every
and Stanford in there. It's good.
But you could move that Cal banner. If you could ask them to move that Cal banner, it'd be really nice.
What do you think, Wes?
Hey, Kim, let me tell you this. I'm having a hard time understanding how many teams are in conferences called the Big 10 and Big 12, too.
That's a good point. That's a good one. Hey, Wes, what's your take on Darian Mensah? You saw him. You got to see and do some of their games last year with Duke and now joining UM.
He is – I think he's terrific. I think he's special. I think the one thing that he brings to the table that doesn't get nearly discussed enough, in my opinion, is his ability to connect with teammates, guys. I mean, think about what he did. You know who his FBS offers were coming out of St. Joe's?
No.
FBS. Ready? The list is long. Tulane.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Do you know who else offered him? Idaho State and Lindenwood.
Holy smokes.
Sounds like Fernando Mendoza.
You see the guy now throw the ball in spring football, and I would
exactly.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. The Mendoza situation is exactly right, Dave. That's exactly what Darian Mensah is, a product that is ready to take off. And now we talk about guys playing with a really good offensive skill set. Holy smokes. Are you kidding me? Mark Fletcher, by the way, walked in here yesterday. I thought he was a linebacker.
Yeah, it's a big man.
That cat is huge. He is a big man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be something at the next level. I mean, Mario's glad to have him in. He should be. But I look at Mark Fletcher, Malachi Tony's special. You guys know that.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, Mensah's guy, Cooper Barcade, has come to play as well. And Barcade's terrific. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to visit with him. Spend some time with that kid. It'll make your day. He's unbelievable. And I know you're going to be good on defense, Joe. You guys are going to be good on defense on that side of the ball down there. It might be a lot of new names, but they're all, as Paul Johnson used to say, they all come highly recommended. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting one because they're really downplaying what they did last year. And,
Sure.
all those guys are all saying the same thing. We don't care about last year. I got practice tomorrow. And Mario doesn't even like talking about individual players. He talks about team, and they got all earn their jobs. And I'm like, I don't know how much they have to earn their job because a lot of guys are really good last year on that team again.
Well, the good news is you loosen him up each week. That's the one thing, Joe, you bring to the table. You take the starch right out of Mario's collar.
Yeah. That's not after the SMU game and Louisville game. Those are never real pretty like last year. That was a tough one. Hey, I want to ask you about Dabo Swinney. He finally broke down and said, all right, transfer portal. I'm going to get 17 guys. I realized, and he fought it. Oh, God, did he fight it? I know you know him pretty well. How good can Clemson be this year now that they've hit it hard?
We're going to find out early, aren't we?
Yes.
I mean, you want to play opening night in Baton Rouge against, Lane Kiffin and all the news he likes to make. I think Dabo likes being the underdog in that game. Clemson's got to solve the quarterback situation, but above all else, they got to be able to get back to run the football consistently in order for them to be anything offensively like they were under Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson or, any of those guys. It's bottom line is that defensively, I think they're going to be pretty good at a lot of areas, but they have got to get better offensively. And if Chad Morris returns as coordinator, if that's the trick and the secret switch, then, God bless them. But a lot of people are going to make a referendum on the Monday after that opening game in Baton Rouge. We all know that. That's just the way this game works right now.
So I want to ask you, the commissioner came out and said, everybody sold on 24 playoff games. And meanwhile, Mario's going, not me. I like 12. I think 12's a number. Yeah. What do you think happens down the road?
Well, I think you got to look at the implications in college football. First of all, if you go to 24, we're going to wipe out championship games if that happens.
Yes.
Here's the other thing, too, guys. We're assuming there's going to be a lot of money there. Okay? If the NFL television rights go back to the marketplace before the new college football contracts can be written, there's not going to be as much money for the college contracts as there will be because the NFL, if they push those rights back to the marketplace, Joe and guys, the NFL is going to take a lot of money. And they're going to expand the schedule. You guys know where the league schedule's going. It's going to 18 games in 20 weeks with 2 byes and 16 international games. I mean, we can kind of see it coming. What are there, 9 international games this year?
Yeah.
I mean, I stand on both sides of the street sometimes in this process, but I can see where see where all that's changing. So, Joe, great to be with you. I hate I'm going to miss you in late August for the third and final fantastic preseason game in the National Football League.
Well, I think probably good news for you. There's only 3 of them.
Regards. Give the booth my regards and the leaking HVAC unit.
Oh, God. That's right. I forgot about the drops coming down. Great call by you. Hey, Wes.
Kim, I'm going to give Stanford and Cal your best wishes.
There you go.
I'll do that. I'll make sure.
From an old San Jose State guy.
Wes, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Wes
All right.
Durham, Atlanta Falcons play-by-play and ESPN on ACC games as well. He's great. He's a good dude. Yeah, he's one of the many boats come in there and goes, Joe, seriously? I said, they're a little tight, but I said the key lime pie's really good in the back there, man. The key lime.
He's got some busy weekends between
I don't know how those guys do it.
I don't know how they do that.
And
I don't know how they do
NFL on Sunday.
Yeah.
There's 3 or 4 guys I think in the league that we go to the Jets, and my old partner in the morning,
Bob Wischusen
is doing. And sometimes he says it's tight getting back.
Yeah.
Because you're in the middle of a small town and somewhere and doing a game. He's doing big games and trying to get back in time for a Jets game at 1 o'clock, which they play a lot of 1 o'clock games too.
I used to do that, and I'd get to the Dolphin game at like first quarter. But if you're an announcer, you got to be there opening
you got to
kickoff.
be there,
Gene Deckerhoff did it too.
Oh, Gene! Oh my God! Forever.
Yep.
Yeah, that's no. I mean, that's
Gene.
That's got to be no fun. No fun. I mean, just because those late night flights, early morning, and then by Monday you got to be just wrung out.
I agree. Bob with shoes on. He's got to be.
Yeah.
And
I remember Nat was doing. Nat was doing radio for the Gators.
Was doing Florida, trying to get back.
So he was having to go like to these small. I mean, he'd be in these small college towns and try to get to the game, a 1 o'clock game.
I forgot Nat did that. He did that for a while.
Somewhere, somewhere on the road. And he always seemed to do it.
Yeah, he got there.
Yeah.
But boy, those are tough ones, man. No question about it. But that's also, let's get down to the other side. There's a lot of money coming in.
I was going to say,
I knew what you were looking at with that little smart ass look.
Everybody would love either of those jobs.
And I don't complain, man. No. And I think Bo will tell you this. I know Jimmy'd say it too. It's still game day, sir. a blast.
Game days are
It's getting to the game days that can be.
You know, it's really fun, and Bo does it better than anybody. Has been down on the sideline before the game to go down there and hang with a couple coaches you like, hear what's going on, and just get a feel. And it's game day.
You know, it's for me. I get down there probably earlier than I should. I get there like 3 hours before the game, and I just sit on the bench because I'm this. You know, I've got the access to. And I just sit there and watch, and I watch kind of guys that come out, and so they're getting the guys that are trying. Are they going to play or not?
Always a couple of those guys.
Some of those guys, and then you always see a coach from another team or something, and our coaches. It's just and then there's always celebrities in the sideline. I mean, people. It's just a it's I tell I got the best seat in the house every week. Why wouldn't I want to do it?
Yeah, you get over there, you see all those guys. You said right before the game, everybody comes over on the bench and areas over there with.
And there's an interesting. Now I'm not down there like you, but there's an interesting pregame energy.
Oh yeah,
from the players to the coaches to the support staff, trainers, and all.
Game day is just so different, and you can feel it whether you're playing or you're in the 50s or 60s, 70s. It's a different deal, man. It's still it's a blast. There's nothing like it. Even we talk about the Dolphins and what it's going to look like, and we're going to find out, man, and real soon. We'll come back, talk a little bit about the Miami Dolphins right after this. But first, time to tell you about your chance to get a new air conditioning company. Not happy where you've been. I get it, man. Never on time. How about the guy that comes out that doesn't know what he's doing? Or how about a guy tells you need a new air conditioning unit only to find out the one can be fixed that you have? Listen, those are all complaints that have been going on for a long, long time when you talk about air conditioning units. And the big one is, or air conditioning companies, the big thing is being on time. Nothing worse than telling you they'll see you in the morning and you don't see them till the next day or late, and you waste a whole day. Frustrated, prices change. It just enough. Well, listen, I want to tell you about President Melissa De Verona from Chill Zone Air Conditioning. Knowledge and great service on every one of their trucks and experience. They've got a lot of it coming out, knowing exactly, being on time. If you need a new air conditioning unit, if you need repairs on the one you have, you need duct cleaning or anything else covering all of South Florida. Here's the best part. Melissa, the president, actually takes all the phone calls every day. That's right. She takes the call, sends out the crews. You got a problem, you deal directly with the president. You don't get that very much anymore. But family-owned and operated, you sure do when you talk about Chill Zone Air Conditioning. Tell them you heard it right here on 104.3 WQAM. Joe Rose was talking about her. Man, that Joe Rose sure likes that Melissa. Oh, I do. ChillZoneAC.com. Stay chill with Chill Zone Air Conditioning. Call 786-378-2778. Dave Hyde in all day, Dan Day, Jamie, Woody in and out with us here up at the ACC kickoff, where he'll interview some more coaches today, and appreciate him being up there and helping us out with everything. So I got to ask you, we haven't really talked about it. A couple of weeks away from the Miami Dolphins getting going, rookie camp, and then veterans will be in there. So we've been getting this a lot. I'm guessing you're getting it too, Bo. So, you go, hey, man, it's going to be fun to watch the development of these guys and different groups, the 21 draft picks over the last 2 years, and how quickly those guys take it to the next step, and the core six back with Brewer, Brooks, Achane, Patrick Paul, and Zach Sealer, and hopefully those guys play at a high level again, and you're talking about it. And all a lot of our fans want is, how many games are we going to win?
Yeah.
And you're going, well, listen, man, we don't have – Dave's done a great job the last few days talking about we're about 40 cents on the dollar right now as far as money we have.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dead money on this team. You can't have a full roster and be your best when you got your hands tied here. So what do you expect?
I know fans don't want to hear this. I think this is a year to be patient. It's a year to be patient, and it's a year to look at like what I'm looking at. First of all, what's Jeff Hafley going to be as a head coach? I don't know. If anybody says you don't know, because this is his first time out as a head coach. Same thing with John Eric Sullivan, first time as a full-blown general manager. You have no track record on it.
You want to see what they lose 3 or 4 in a row, how they'll do.
Speculate. Yeah. You can speculate, and you can and all you want, but until it happens. But I like their philosophy from the beginning. Both of them believe in building a team from the line of scrimmage out, right? I believe in that too. They're during the mini camps, the OTAs, all the practices that we saw, very tough on fundamentals, very, very hard on technique, all those things that can make a not so good player a player. I don't know what their scheme's going to be. I think defensively, he's a defensive coach. He's going to probably be a 4-3 predominant. And you got a bunch of defensive tackles there that you've got over the last couple of years that can fill that out. I think the offensive line looks like it's going to be pretty good if Kalen Proctor works out and Savaianaia can play a little better than he did last year on that right side.
And Austin stays healthy at right tackle.
Stays healthy. Yeah. You got Achane behind there. You got Ollie there. You got who's the third right? You got right there. You got your receiving core is had a lot of holes in it. You got a nice little tight end group that seems like can.
I'm not worried about tight end group.
I think and Dolchich and those guys. Yeah. And then you got good inside linebackers. You should have 4 good defensive linemen, and then after that, you got if Chris Johnson, the cornerback, is going to be a guy. Other than that rest, the edge rushers and the rest of that secondary, they're all question marks.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to stay in games on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, and my whole thing, and Joe mentioned, so right now the top 51 which is how the salary cap goes. They're spending $117,000 because they are saying we're going to take all the poison from the bad, and I agree with it. Take it all in 1 year.
Yep.
And move on. But that gives them 38.6% they're spending on players. Other teams are spending $1. They're spending 38 cents this year. So you cannot expect them to have what you want to do is come from out of this season, I think, and I've said it, like the New England Patriots did 2 years ago. They had 4 wins, but they said, you know what, we got a quarterback.
Started with that.
There you go. There you go, right?
And we got some other parts, but we're going to have to spend money in free agency, and the Dolphins will have a lot of money after this year to spend on, and they'll have draft picks growing up, and that's the plan. I like the plan.
They're adamant about keeping their draft picks and developing them instead of giving them 2 years and we're not going to sign you to the third-year contract or whatever, and so you lose those. The Christian Wilkins, the Van Ginkels, the Hollands, those guys that you put a lot of draft capital in, and then you just let them go.
Robert Hunt. I mean, you can go down the line.
That's going to go. Yeah. That's from what they're saying. That's going to go away, and I like that philosophy. The interesting thing for me is not going to see how many games the team wins throughout the course. It's how the players that they've drafted and put in there have developed from week 1 to week 16. You know, have they gotten better? Have they stayed the same, or have they gone backwards?
I think a lot of that has to do with the system too.
Yes,
that we're putting them, giving them a chance to be like, look, I had to play in a certain system to have success.
Yeah.
Right, Bo. I'm sure, like you know, you don't ask me to do something I can't do, and I think they'll do a good job.
So let me take you back to when I first came here. I got drafted in 1976. In 74, I believe they played in either the conference championship game or I think the AFC championship game, and lost within the sea of hands play.
Oakland,
right? Yeah, to Oakland Raiders. The next year, they didn't have a very good draft. That was 75, right? And they got, you know, their 2 first draft picks, two of the first 3 picks got busted, and they were gone. And it's a bit. And then 76, the year I came in, unfortunately, I hurt my knee in the first game and didn't play a game, and that kind of gets me. But that was his first losing season. It was Don Shula's first losing season, right? 2 years removed from an AFC championship game that they played in. My next year, 77. We drafted A.J. Baumhauer, and we had Duriel Harris with Larry Gordon, and that year, which was 3 years removed from 74, we were waiting in the last game of the year. If Baltimore would have missed a field goal, we would have gone into the playoffs. So it was a turner.
That's a big turnaround.
It wasn't a long turnaround, but they made good draft choices. And some of the free agents some of the people that they weren't undrafted players played in, and you had a system that
well, and they can do it quicker now because of free agents.
Yeah.
If they hit right on the quarterback, on the draft picks.
Yeah, well, my point being is I believe the backbone of this team for them, in everything I've heard and read, is going to be through the draft.
21 guys right now.
Yeah.
They got 13 last year and 8 the year before. We got to find out how many of those guys, and they'll see it. I mean, they're going to see things we don't see. If like he can play, or he's going to be a player, he can play our system. Hey, their behavior, everything else. And I'm guessing the quality of the character, both from the guys we've seen,
it seems pretty good.
Seems pretty good.
And, I think what you got left is character. You got the Aaron Brewers and
the guys they kept,
and the guys they kept are
they
solid.
kept all the best players,
all the best, all the guys, all the real guys.
The only guy for me that, if I could have kept one more guy that was one of the best players a year ago, would have been Waddle. And maybe it's me. I just would have upgraded,
I agree with that.
Given Malik a little better.
I think
chance,
Waddle in a full year without Tyreek would have broached a really solid number one.
I like
guy.
Waddle too, but let's look at this. A.J. Brown, traded from Philadelphia to New England. A.J. Brown just ranked 9th in the league of wide receivers. They got a first round and 2 fifths.
Yeah.
The Dolphins for Waddle, and I like Waddle. They got a first and a third.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
There's Chris
but
Johnson.
Look at the
Chris
drop off
Bell.
from Waddle and what we have.
Well, they don't have a receiver.
I'm just saying, because everybody's talking, and so Bo and I are going to talk about this today on the podcast too. Like everybody already coming out. Well, Malik's he's not gonna have success, and he can't play. And then you read these articles, and they go, well, he's got nobody to throw to, and this and that. And it does make it a little more difficult unless you look at the New England situation, as we talked about. Drake May, he didn't have anybody to throw to him, and we all went, he can play.
Yeah.
Wait till he gets some more around him. He's going to be a good player. And now we see him in the top 10 in the ESPN list. But I just think.
But I would look at our offensive line, and if it all pans out the way it looks like, Malik's going to have a better offensive line than Drake May did the previous year.
I don't know what to make of I was thinking that might be the second best unit they have after middle line. But then I'm looking at Warren Sharp and another analytical guy. Warren Sharp predicted Dolphin offensive line will rank 29th in the league this year. Because what's the right side look like? What Austin Hunt can he stay healthy?
Austin Jackson, we don't know.
Austin Johnson and Savanayo.
That may be one of the biggest biggest difference makers on this team if Austin Jackson can stay healthy.
And Savania, where he gave up 45 pressures, can he cut that in half?
Yeah, but I look at Patrick Paul year
Bo's
one.
believing in him, just so you know. Bo's
Patrick Paul
that's
year
fine.
one
That's
wasn't very good, and I'm going, look, his fundamentals. I like his base, and look what he's become. He's on a trajectory to be an All-Pro, I believe. And Savania, so he saw everything that he hasn't seen last year. The big thing about it to me, those guys that have played a lot of snaps and have that first year, that rookie year where you look like crap, but you've seen a lot of snaps.
That's true.
Now
Big
during
difference.
the offseason, now you work on it. You get fundamentally sound. They put him on a side where he's more comfortable. And so I'm not saying he's going to be great. I'm just hoping that the situation
just be average. Just be average.
You don't. Yeah.
But I will tell you both this: if he doesn't work out, they didn't draft him. They won't stay with him.
No.
They're not going to.
Well, they got a veteran
They
from
got Sawyer.
the Chargers.
Yeah.
Sawyer.
Yeah.
We'll come. Hey, let's take a quick break. We got more stuff to come back and talk a little bit about this and the patience of Dolphin fans.
Yeah.
Make sure you call Dave Hyde and Kim Bocamper on that, please.
No, I didn't say patience. I want a pain index. That's what that'll be.
I got guys my age and Bo's had this happen too because we've talked and gone, you're asking me to have patience? 26 years. You know how old I am, Joe Rose.
Yeah. But,
Anyway, hey, let's talk about Super Sure. I'm super sure of this. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until that renewal's ready. Of course, then they're back. Your business runs all year, and so do the gaps in the wrist. That's why I'm introducing Super Sure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, the CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. Super Sure is a super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you can see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business year calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Super Sure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency. Time left here before we say goodbye to Thursday, and plenty of news still to wait for. Hopefully, besides Giannis, we'll have everything on Giannis and his press conference today. We'll have it for you tomorrow morning. Talk about that. Bobby Portis, little Bobby Portis in there at 12:30, little lunch with Bobby, and then hopefully probably a long shot. Still not feeling great that LeBron's going to make this decision. I got to tell you, he waits till next week, guys. It's going to be a bad look. Now,
I think
now people are going to go, hey, enough's enough there, brother.
I think
You
you're right.
got all
I think
your
by now
information.
people are saying, get back to me when you make
Yeah.
your decision
Yeah.
because it's dragged out and out and
Yeah.
out. And today or tomorrow, right? He's got a podcast.
You're
He's
in New
gonna be
York.
Live. You're
You
in
want
New
to do it in the
York.
Big Apple, do it, man. That's fine. I don't know. It's crazy. Kim Camper with us, Dave Hyde, all day, Dan Day. Jamie's in there, swiping a little bit in the corner up there. We got the whole group here with us. And Woody up on working / a little vacation before coming back. And so we got all that stuff going on. Let me ask you guys real quickly. You feel better about this Canes team this year from what you've heard versus last year's team? It's hard to imagine. They went to the national championship game and barely got in the party to start with, and then made the great run.
Well, you probably feel better, and you shouldn't, but you feel better this year because of what they did last year. And there's such change. I mean, look, their defensive ends were number 1 draft picks.
Yeah.
Their left tackle or right tackle was a top 10 pick. Their left tackle, they've
A third-round pick,
a new
yeah.
quarterback. But you feel better because now you see the vision of Mario and what he's built and still building. And so you think, okay, they're going to be part of that conversation every year, right?
Yeah.
How about taking one step back? I want to and Bo help me out. Not only the 2 number 1 guys are pass rushers, they don't just replace first round picks.
Right.
But they lost 4 offensive linemen that were starters. 3 of them got drafted.
Yeah.
So I don't just go, well, the young kids are going to be ready to go. I think they'll be good in time. How quickly?
So obviously, the number one thing is your quarterback's got to be what you think your quarterback is.
That's true.
And then there's a lot of sentiment that he's going to be really good here. But you've lost a lot of players too. But Mario knows how to, he knows how to restock pretty well. And I think you got the defensive coordinator. The name escapes me. Came in and completely
Heatherman
completely made that defense into a beast. And then you got Jason Taylor, a pass rush guy. And so, it just depends. And look, they got 5-star guys, 4 5-star guys at every position, probably, right? I'm guessing that
they got.
And so if those 4 and 5-star,
they got a lot more 4 and 5s they've had. Yes.
And so they've got to play like 4 and 5-star guys coming in. And I don't doubt that they will. I think they'll be really good. Now I gotta tell you the one question mark about the football team is Mario is a sideline head coach. I mean, you've seen deficiencies over the last couple of years that have cost him. Play. Timing. Different timing. Those situations, timeouts, this and that, and those type of things that have cost them. They lost 2 games last year you can't go out and play with a team like that last year. Look, they got to the championship game, but you lose 2 games to who?
The second and third best team.
Doesn't
SMU
matter.
and Louisville.
Doesn't matter who. It's who. And so you could say, well, the year before that, they lost 2 games to who? No, I can't remember them because they're not very good football teams. There's something in there that keeps them from being that team that's going to go into the playoffs at what 12-0, 13-0, whatever that number is.
They had such a good run in the playoffs last year that answered a lot of.
It does make you wonder how did that team lose those 2 games?
It blew a little bit of that dust away.
Question.
Right?
That's the question. But it's every team's probably going to have one bad week.
Yeah.
Right. The SMU.
Yeah, but it's all right if you have a bad week against a good team.
Here's the interesting thing this year. We just had on the ACC announcer and the 3. Miami's number 1. Louisville and SMU are in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, they don't play them on the schedule. They don't play them this season. So again, their season. They play Clemson. It was the first big game.
Yeah.
And then they have a lot of games against maybe teams. Maybe they're good or maybe they're not.
Well, you almost get the feeling with Miami is they play really well, and so you go into a big I'm not sure I don't look at their schedule for really much, but let's say playing Notre Dame, playing Notre Dame on the road. They beat Notre Dame in a tough football game, and then you come back and you play a third division kind of a team, and for some reason the intensity's not there, and next thing you know you're walking off the field going, how do we lose to those guys?
Yeah, you cannot have that. I just say this: they lost Louisville because they turned the friggin' ball over four or five times.
Yeah, but you lose.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. And by the way, as bad as those turnovers, you got the ball at the end of the game, still to go down the field and do it. In the second one, SMU. Do you remember all the penalties?
Yeah, that was just a bad day. Louisville had a hot day, and Miami didn't, and that happens.
Well, there goes. I mean, but if you want
the SMU loss, I thought was that was the bad loss last year. So
and had the ball at the very end of the game with a chance to win it.
But how they played in the playoffs and the discipline and the structure and the talent answered okay.
Well, and that's what Miami steps up for the big games. In every game, once you get in the playoffs, every game is a big game.
They lost some good players though.
They lost a lot of good players.
And by proven and great, and we didn't even talk about the two guys in the secondary that ended up getting drafted.
The two pass rushers
rushers. I can't wait to see how good what they look like, including the guy that everybody wanted down here. And we're at the draft party on the Ruben Bain one that is going to be sitting with us for a while.
Yeah.
And hey, listen, man, I hope he plays great.
I tell you, Ruben. I mean, I like the way he's carried himself from the draft to getting up to Tampa. Like even with the helmet, grabs a hat. You could tell he's just
You could tell he wanted to be a Miami Dolphin.
He's
gonna carry that anger and use
he's got a chip on his shoulder now, right?
But let's switch that to the Dolphins. The Dolphins need to win one of these either-or decisions. For the they took Tua over Herbert.
Yeah.
Chargers. There's so many of those either that.
At one point, you got to make the right pick.
No, I think Bain's going to have a great career, but the point is Proctor needs to have a great career too.
Yeah.
This is only step one for Caden Proctor because he's not going to be a left guard very long.
No.
They brought him in to be a big, strong. Hey, I got this tackle position.
The funny thing about that, then when one of the first practices, or whether it was OTA, whatever it was, and they made the players available. So Patrick Paul was talking, and Patrick's about 6'5".
No, he's
6'7", 325,
and 325. And someone asked him, "How's it feel to be standing next to Caden Proctor?" He goes, "Man, he's a big dude."
I don't think we have to worry about Caden Proctor. Everybody's talking, well, this guy's got to play, and I agree, man. I'm big on the first rounders. Need to look like a first rounder, Bo.
What's good for him too is he's got Brewer on one side and he's got Paul.
That
on the
helps
other
too.
Right?
You got nice support on both sides.
But the number 10 pick in the draft, stepping inside. We saw it with Laramie Tunsil. Yeah. He was great his rookie year as a guard, right?
Yeah, but he said he was a number 10 pick in the draft, but when he got drafted, everyone going, what? Right? Wow. I think there was a little,
because he was, a year ago he was the number 1 pick overall going into the season. A lot of people, he'll be the number 1 pick overall, and then he had weight issues and all that stuff. And
don't think everybody's not going to be waiting for day number 1 to see. Because this is the first time he's been on his own with that big fat bonus check.
I think this will be a year. There will be no question. Moving down his career, we'll see.
The vibe that I hear from somebody, I ran into Patrick Paul in a coffee shop a couple weeks ago, and just talked to him a little bit. And I've got the feeling that all these young guys now with this group, they're staying. They're not leaving. They're
let them stay down.
They're going
here
for a week maybe, and they're coming back and getting to work.
They were, and getting used to it. Hey, fellas, thank you, man.
Yep.
Appreciate you guys being with us. I see you guys could go a couple more hours, but not me. I'm not a pig anymore. Hey, that's going to do it for our show. I had such a good time. I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everybody.
If it's going down, you know we on it. If it's going down, you know we on it. WQAM got Miami sports. Yeah, we run it.